Jason Fladlien here, co-founder of Rapid Crush Inc. on behalf of Wilson Matos and the team. Here today on this training, I'm going to show you how to get money quickly, especially if you lack in time, resources, expertise, and experience. Now, I don't have to tell you this, but things is getting crazy out there, right? We have weekly unemployment benefits, which hopefully none of you face, but multiple millions of Americans are dependent on to survive. And nobody knows what's happening in any of those situations. They don't know what the job market is going to look like. They don't know about potential second round stimuluses. The only thing certain is uncertainty right now. But what I love about when times are hard is you either wither away and die or you stand up and you rise to the occasion. It's usually nowhere in between. You either grow from the adversity or it runs you over. And it reminds me of this saying that necessity is the mother of invention. It's attributed to Plato. I don't know who really said it or if anybody actually said it at any point in time, but it rings true. This is when the breakthroughs happen. When your back's against the wall, you figure out all of a sudden how to knock that wall over and find out on the other side what was to your back was actually the way to move. And this is what I'm calling Operation Immediate Cash. Enter Operation Immediate Cash, which was the whole motif and motivation of the training that I have here today. And here is the premise of it. What would you do if you absolutely, positively had to make real money in less than 72 hours? Otherwise, something catastrophic would happen to you. If that was the case, what would you do? What would your approach be? How would it be different than it is now if whatever your approach is now is not getting you the money that you want? So this is what we're calling Operation Immediate Cash. This is the focus and the whole calling for me to create this presentation here for you today. Now, who is Operation Immediate Cash for? Good question. It's for you if you need immediate money. Duh. It's obvious, but I like to state it, okay? Some of you are not in a position where you have a lot of choice right now. And so you can get mad at it, or you can say it is what it is and let me go. Now, hopefully a majority of you are not required to have to make money or something catastrophic will happen. But still, that attitude can serve you very well, because sometimes it's that constrained in thinking that has the breakthrough. Who else is Operation Immediate Cash for, though? It's for the person who wants to help somebody else who might otherwise crash and burn. So I didn't take much schooling. I had a semester of schooling at Iowa State, and then I dropped out. One of the only good pieces of advice I had was in an ethical philosophy class, moral and ethics in philosophy. And they said, is it your obligation if you're walking past somebody who's drowning and it takes you no effort to save them? Is it wrong if you don't save them? It's a good philosophical question. That's a big deal from a philosophy standpoint, but we can't eat philosophy and we can't cash it in the bank. But if it makes us feel good and motivates us to take action because we know what we're doing is massively helpful and it is doing the world a favor and we can get paid a lot and we can get paid quickly for it, that's what Operation Immediate Cash also includes in it. And if you want to gain back some sense of control in this otherwise chaotic, crazy time we find ourselves in, I think Operation Immediate Cash is for you. For no other reason if it serves as a useful distraction. So the less you have to pay attention to crazy fear-mongering news and the more you can focus on an immediate thing of purpose to rise to every single day, I think that in and of itself is valuable. And I also think it will help you make that immediate cash. But here's who it's most importantly for. You ready for this? Here is the most important function or feature of what I consider Operation Immediate Cash for. It's for my money getters. If I was a social media person, I would hashtag money getter in the chat. I'd have you say that right now. Whatever. I like the identity of money getters because if it takes little to no effort and can produce big chunks of monkey money, if it can produce big chunks of money and it is 100% ethical, money getters are less attached to the process and they're more attached to the outcome. Now, I have done this training stuff on the internet for over 60,000 plus customers at this point in time. And I will tell you, probably 40,000 of those customers are not money getters. You say, whoa, Jason, that's crazy, huh? Well, if you hang around me for more than a minute, you realize I tell it pretty much how it is, whether it wins me favor or not. They're not money getters. They are physical product sellers, or they are affiliate marketers, or they are information publishers, or they are thought leaders, whatever a thought leader is. I don't know what that is, right? I'm a money getter, and I want you to be a money getter. where you're less attached to the specific process and you're more attached to, if I do a little bit of effort and it has a big reward and I'm 100% comfortable with it, why wouldn't I do it? Okay? I deal in the US currency, being from the United States, but anybody who wants to give me any currency from their motherland, I will take it. I won't say, no, I only want dollars, because I can exchange the currency. And that's what I want you to be. I want you to be an opportunist who is a money getter and less attached to the process of how you get that money. Let's divorce identity from outcome. Is that cool with you? See, Operation Money Cash. The other thing about it that I need you to do, so that's the first challenge I'm going to face with you, because some of you are going to say, well, I don't want to do this approach, Jason, because I've never done this approach before, and I don't have an identity for it. So I'm going to squash that, kill that right now. Hopefully that won't rob you of the opportunity. But here's the other issue that may rob you of the opportunity, which is Operation Immediate Cash. Is there is a real world ceiling on this approach. If anybody tells you that, oh, my approach is all positive and no negative, or there's only good but no bad, they are naive, or they are a con artist, or maybe they are a naive con artist. I don't know what they are, but they are not telling you the truth. This particular approach has more limitations than most approaches do. And the biggest limitation is that it'll cap out at about $7,000 a month. Now, it's really easy to get to $7,000, and it's incredibly hard to go beyond $7,000 a month, unless you really want to throw in the extra amount of effort. So I don't recommend most of you go beyond $7,000 a month, unless you're really excited and jazzed up and passionate about it, and it's fun to you beyond the money it gets you. Okay? But for most of you, there's this concept in life called the 80-20 rule, aka the Pareto principle, which is minimum amounts of effort produce maximum amounts of output or results. And this is what I want you to play with here. I want you to do just a tiny little bit, hit 7,000, and then just call this a stream of income. One less $7,000 chunk that you have to acquire elsewhere in your life. Is that cool? And lastly, this shouldn't get most of you who I attract on this type of training, but in the world at large, I know this will stop most people from succeeding with this. Then here's the problem with Operation Immediate Cash. It's not flashy. It's not sexy. It doesn't get you likes, thumbs ups. It doesn't gain you fame or notoriety. I care less for any of those things, but some people would rather have the fame than the fortune. I would give me the fortune, you can keep the fame, but you will have to get your hands dirty. Beggars can't be choosers. You either want to do the money and get it quick, then you got to get your hands dirty. All right? Now here's what's not required. You do not need to be good at selling. I like people who are good at selling, because typically selling skills are required to be successful in any business or any way to make money. This is not one of those cases, and I'm going to prove that to you. You do not need to deal with the tech. Having been on these Google Meet classrooms for getting the kids back in school and having to deal with all sorts of varieties of different people who have got on online lately, I'm just going to tell it like it is. Most of you cannot do any tech whatsoever at any level that I would entrust upon you, even the most basic technical skills. I don't want to deal with that. If you have it, great. If you don't have it, I ain't going to try to help you get it. We're just going to sidestep it and say, forget it, because it's not needed. So let's cross that off the list. Expertise. I'll tell you, expertise is a curse most of the time. Most experts feel like, well, it should be the way that I know because I'm an expert. But your audience is very rarely experts. So we have to go with where they're at. And that's Operation Immediate Cash does that wonderfully. And experience is not required, because most of this stuff you couldn't get experience in it previous to this, even if you tried, because it's that fresh. Best of all, my favorite feature is it doesn't have a steep learning curve. There is almost nothing to learn. Which is fun for me, because the less I have to teach you, the easier my job is, and it's the outcome that matters to me. All right, so that's what we're here to do today. Now, here's why I think I can help you in a way that nobody else can. I don't think you can get the type of expertise in process and approach that I'm about to show you, and that's not of hubris of which I speak. It's simply a matter of my experience on this planet Earth. I was an internet marketing millionaire, cash millionaire. Not just a fictitious millionaire or on paper millionaire, like I could write a check for $1 million and it would cash type of millionaire by the age of 30. which is remarkable because at the age of 25, this is where I started my online quest, if you will. Not the big house there, but the tiny little shed. There's about 300 some odd square feet, one big tube of a room divided in half from the kitchen and the rest of the place, which was my living room / bedroom / office. And that's where I started my first online business from. And then along the way, not just me, but I was on the forefront. Wilson, my business partner, and we kind of led the revolution of a lot of internet marketing changes. So we broke into WordPress before 1 out of 4 websites on the internet was using it. We pioneered a lot of the technology in that space that is commonplace today. We were on the web before it was mobile. Even before smartphones automatically did it, we had to show local companies how to do it manually. So we created the first ever real live software that could do that for somebody. And so we were mobile before the internet was mobile. When Amazon became big in 2013, we led the charge in that. And nowadays, everybody's talking Zoom this, Zoom that. I am to this day the only person to ever be brought in by Zoom as a marketer to advise their clients on how to use webinars. And that is another revolutionary frontier that I've conquered. So I have a very unique skill set of opportunity seeking, acknowledging, validating, and then just totally churning it into my plaything and helping others do the same, because that's where all this comes from. But here's the main reason that I feel like I can help you in a way that nobody else can. And it has nothing to do with anything that I just previously discussed with you. Here's why I think we tend to get results for our people far beyond what anybody else does. And here it is. Are you ready for it? It's not what you think it is, by the way. The reason I can help you succeed is I have an utter distaste for your failure. It pisses me off. I am unacceptable of second-rate behavior from my clients. I don't tolerate your abilities to try to limit your potential for profit. And this absolute disdain for your excuses that prevent you from making money, I savagely destroy them. And I think with this particular opportunity, when you combine that attitude with what's going on, with the experience that I had, I think we have the perfect storm for profit on our hand. It's a good question, by the way. What is exactly the perfect conditions for the opportunity to profit? Opportunity to profit, keyword. I would write that down if I were you. Opportunity to profit. It's an interesting phrase, but what are the perfect conditions involved? Let me pose it to you 4 of what I believe are the best opportunities for profit. Any one of these on their own is great. 2 of them, even better. You get a triumvirate of 3 of them, fantastic. But the quadrant, that's rarely the case, but when it is, oh my God, let's get to work, right? First opportunity for profit is when there's massive uncertainty. Second opportunity for profit is when there's this thing I call loss terror. The third one is a concept I'm going to introduce as obvious stupidity. Then there's massive opportunity for profit. And 4 is the impending event. These are the 4 opportunities to profit. We have all 4 of them wrapped up in a pretty little bow in one specific setting. Now, before we dive into those 4 areas, let's just do a very brief check-in with how all money is made online. Because I find when we reduce things to their simplest forms, that's when the insights, that's when the behavioral changes, that's when the new habits are formed, which can produce the millions of dollars potentially that may be at stake. Now, here's how all money is made online. So write this down. I call this the money triangle. An audience, a message, and an offer. That's all you need. Now, these are interrelated. They have to be connected. They overlap each other. You can't have one without the other. But if you have the right audience with the right message and the right offer, the rest is just details. So let's talk about the audience. Here are mistakes I see that rob people of their ability to make money otherwise. First one is trying to get somebody to do something they currently aren't doing. That's a near impossibility, right? If somebody has never practiced yoga in their life, convincing them of the benefits of downward dog as a pose, I don't recommend you even attempt that. But, you take a yoga rat and you could talk for hours on just one little tiny aspect of the downward dog. So don't try to get somebody to do something they're not doing. I see this done all the time in business, and it's hard. You're trying to get an immoving object to go into motion. The laws of physics don't support that. Far better is to find something somebody is already doing and failing at miserably, and then you can help them make it easier, make it better, make it funner, make it simpler, make it cheaper, make it whatever to do. And that's really awesome. I like to think of it as people already in motion, and all you do is put one little finger on it, adjust them 1 degree, and it changes them off in a whole new direction. I like that type of effort, as opposed to convincing and educating and trying to go on and on and on and on and on about something somebody's not doing to get them to do it. Now, if you can do that, congratulations, you will break through. But the failure rate of that is about 99%. So I'm going to show you something that people are already doing today, then they're doing it so poorly, and it can be fixed so easily, and they'll be so happy if you fix it for them, and they will pay you for it. That's the type of audience we want. Second, offer. The harder it is to understand the value of something, the more skill required for you to make money with it. There are things that require 20, 30, 40 hours to really put into context to appropriately describe the value of those things. I've done that a lot of times, more times than I can count. But much easier than having to educate somebody on value is if somebody can see something and feel inadequate or embarrassed by what they have versus what they see in front of them. The more you have that, the more effective your offer will be, because there is no explanation needed. All right? The clearer it is that not paying you will cost them money, and it's cheaper to pay you than to not pay you, then the more money you will be paid. So my promise is you're going to leave here today with something that does all these things from an offer perspective and more. And then lastly, now we have to message to our audience what our offer is in the right way. To make millions of dollars, you need to craft messages that take hours to deliver, and you must deliver them skillfully. I don't expect most of you to ever be able to do that, nor should you want to do that. To make tens of thousands of dollars, you just need a clever hook for your message. So think tabloid magazines at checkouts. They have one cool little headline or something that's an eye grabber, and it's done. That's what we're going to do here today. You're going to be shown a hook so simply, it's so effective that you're going to marvel at its cunning. Now, this alone, if you understand the fundamentals of the money triangle, audience, message, and offer, this will put you so far ahead of most other people, it's not even funny because they overcomplicate it all. But this is what it looks like. Now, when you combine that with the opportunity to profit, this is when we get into Operation Immediate Cash. This is when the perfect storm of profit approaches. And so this is what we have right now. We have massive uncertainty. And what do I mean by this? What I mean is when there's massive uncertainty and people are unclear of what the near future holds, they're highly suggestible to any course of action. Now, this can be used for bad reasons. I'll never, ever teach you anything that is exploitive, because from an ethics point of view, that's bad. But from a practical point of view of profiting, why would you want to do that when you can help somebody out and make even more money and feel good about it? But the point is, people tend to be more receptive to messages and tend to pay you more money when they are in a highly suggestible state. And there's nothing that agitates that more than massive uncertainty. And here's an example of an audience facing massive uncertainty. COVID-19 has shut down hundreds of Philly area small businesses, Yelp says, and that's just for starters. But it's not limited to Philadelphia. Main small business sector still in crisis after reopening, whatever reopening means, right? The Paycheck Protection Program expires today. The future of the Small Business Rescue Plan is in limbo as stimulus talks stall. Amid dire jobless numbers, Small Business Relief Program nears end, and small business revenue drops 52% during the pandemic. This is an unprecedented time of uncertainty. We thought it would be better by now in general, and it's not better, it's probably worse, which is kind of crazy if you think about it, because small businesses in capitalistic societies are the backbone of the economy. And right now, these businesses are doing everything they can to survive, and instead of being tossed life preservers, they're being handed sandbags. Now, here's what's important. You might hear 52% revenue down and foolishly assume that they don't have any money to spend, and that's not the case at all. What's important to understand is businesses will, and they currently are spending money right now. They're spending money on things that will plug up the holes in their otherwise sinking ships. So we're going to help them plug holes and bail water, and we're going to be rewarded handsomely for the result. So that's the first thing that we have going in our favor right now. The second thing is the concept of loss terror. It's one of the most misunderstood concepts of the human condition that I've seen, and it's this. Here's what they found. Psychologists have proven that the pain of losing is at least twice as powerful a motivator as the pleasure of gain. Yet, what do you see when you go out there in the business world? It's all about get this and grow more here and have more of this and do more of that and blah, blah, blah. Because we tend to think in positive outcomes because we want to move forward towards things. But what motivates people to pay you money is the terror of losing out on something. And here's one of the best ways that I can prove this to you very quickly. I could diagram it. We could mathematically prove it. We could show you study after study. But here's just what I know to be true. Most of us, we are much more upset losing a $100 bill from our wallet than we are happy finding a $100 bill on the ground. That is the power of motivation and the desire to take action and the desire to pay for a result, is when there's this fear massively of losing out on something. Then there's the concept of obvious stupidity, which is what? And this is my favorite one of the opportunity to profit. It's the easiest way to have somebody give you money is to make your offer so good that they would feel stupid not to pay you for it. I know that sounds like a fairy tale. An offer so good, somebody would feel like a complete moron if they didn't hand you over money. That can't actually happen in the real world, Jason. That's just a clever little saying on a webinar, right? Well, I could show you many of my own personal examples, but Apple Music, I don't have to buy a bunch of onesie twosies or records anymore. It's stupid for me not to pay for it. Postmates Unlimited, especially during a crisis, would be stupid for me not to pay for it. Amazon Prime would be monumentally, catastrophically stupid for me not to pay for. Even something like a Nest thermostat, which helps regulate the temperature in the house, which saves me on my electricity bill far beyond what I paid for the little silly gadget. All of that stuff, it would be stupid for me not to pay for it, so therefore I pay for it. Simple as that. It's the easiest sales pitch that you could ever have, and you don't even have to make it because it isn't you that's selling somebody. It's their own internal feelings of, oh my God, how could I not have this? How could I have allowed this to occur? I better pay money to get rid of it. And then lastly, an impending event. Let me just put it out to you this way. Ever notice how your productivity skyrockets the day of or the day before you go on a vacation? Wow, that impending upcoming event. Some of you have crammed for tests in your academic life. And isn't it amazing how studious you become as the impending event of the test looms on the horizon? And in a recent example, in this absolute stupidity of the world that we live in right now, in terms of the economic invisible hands that manipulate and have puppet strings that they're pulling on. Anybody know what caused this? Put this in the chat. So this is Kodak Company, the former photograph company, camera company, now supposed expert at medical stuff company, right? Went from a low of 10 to a high of a lot. I mean, they went, actually it was 2. It went from like 2 to 35 back down to 10, all in the span of less than a month. What happened? Well, it was an impending event. Insider trading most likely had told these people that the government was going to award them with some stupidly gigantic windfall of money. And so people started ramping up and buying the stock. And then it was announced publicly that they did get this money. And then it was revealed later on how many people were tipped off, and then the stock tanked again because they are now anticipating charges being filed against them. So one impending event made it gigantic in size, and then another impending event completely reversed it. So the impending event will cause more action toward or running away from something than anything else. And no amount of good marketing can create an impending event. But no amount of bad marketing can screw up an impending event that's already taken place. You just grab on and hold on for dear life, and you'll get a result out of it. Now, I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but isn't it true, though, that maybe the game of making money is rigged against you? Is that a conspiracy theory? If it's not intentionally rigged at the very least, and I think it is rigged, at least it's not designed for you to play it and win. Now, you can win, but it's not designed for you to equally be favored to win, in my opinion. So take that for whatever it is. But certainly, I don't know about you, but I didn't have insider connections to make my money, nor did I have certain things going for me that other people who are already in positions who have money continue to make money on. That never was the game with me. But we can still win. And here's Fladlien's greatest strategic wealth principle that has served me the best, that has made me more money than any other wealth principle I've ever learned from anybody else. And it's this: if you want to start winning immediately, don't try to get better. Just find weaker opponents. So if the game is rigged against you, play a different game. Now, for your long-term success, you should strive to get better. You should learn how to sell more effectively. One of the greatest skills you could ever develop. You should also create assets that can be leveraged. So over time, you don't have to always create something new. You can pull stuff out that you've already made and repurpose it and put it out there to new audiences and on and on and on and on, right? And you should work harder on yourself than you do on your job, because how you look at the world and how you think things, so that way you can feel good when you wake up in the morning and when you go to sleep at night. That's going to help you long-term than just about anything, right? And really the long-term success principle is this: you study, you practice, you apply, you adapt, and then you repeat. You study some more, you practice some more, you apply it in the real world some more, you adapt it because you never get it right away, and then you repeat the process ad infinitum. I'm still doing this a decade and a half later, and I'll be doing it for the next 30 years as well. But what about short term? How do we win immediately? Because none of those things will help you pay the rent by next week. So short term, we just got to find weaker opponents. We need to run races against babies who just haven't even learned to walk yet. We will win every single time. It ain't pretty, but you'll win. That's what I want for you here today. Now, I want you to win every single time, but I also want you to win the right prizes. So in business right now, there is a land where everyone in it is practically blind. And even if you only have one really bad eye that's nearsighted, farsighted, and riddled with cataracts up and down, you can still be of massive value, you can still be useful, and you can win big money quickly. This is the game we're going to play. And this is the equivalent of playing trivia against a dog, so to speak, right? You are going to win. We're going to stack the deck in your favor for once. Now, only those living under rocks don't realize that the power of social media. It is a very powerful drug, and I mean that in every sense of the word. It is a drug that has been designed to elicit a response that makes it addictive. And from a business standpoint, that's where people are. So if we want to make money, that's probably where we go. Case in point, adults 18 to 34 are most likely to use social media when following brands that they support and love. 50+% of social browsers use social media to research products before making purchasing decisions. 90% of accounts on Instagram follow a business on Instagram. And here's the one that whacked me over the head and really shocked me. There are more social media users today than there were people on planet Earth in 1971. So I know a lot of you in the audience right now listening to me were alive and walking the earth in 1971. And today there are more social media accounts than the whole world was up until that point in time. And from a business perspective, 1 in 2 small businesses post on social media daily. Not yearly, not monthly, not weekly, daily. Daily. 1 in 2. Now, when it comes to social media, Facebook is the biggest kid on the block. It is the biggest social media site. And here's what I want to do. And I'm going to need your help on this, Will, so I want you to look at the chat while I do this, because I'm going to show a Facebook page, and I want people to respond to me the first thing that grabs their attention. And I want you to give me the pulse or the baseline of what the answers are. I think I know what they're going to be, but it's really always great to validate it. Okay, is everybody ready? I'm going to show it to you in 3, 2, 1. Here it is. What's the first thing you notice? Go ahead and type it into the chat. And there's a lot going on in this page. And I intentionally took a noisy screenshot, meaning that there was a lot going on that would fill up this page just to really bring this home.
Bad photo.
Okay, bad photo. I like that. Bad photo is more appropriately descriptive than what I have on the next slide, which is more of a technical term. We call this a social media cover. And I don't think it is of any doubt on this webinar that from a majority of you, almost all of you probably, I would guess, this is what drew your attention first. Is that fair? And I'm assuming that's what the chat said, right, Will?
Yeah, everybody made some comment on the picture. That's totally right.
Okay, good. And there's a reason. Facebook has designed it that way. It is a billboard. At least that's how most people look at it. I'm going to suggest you not look at it that way in a little bit because I think it'll limit your ability to make money. But that's how typically most people look at it. If it was a business sign in front of the business, this is the equivalent of that online. And I don't even have to take the poll now. We all know it's bad, okay? You can validate this yourself. This was not a screenshot taken a year and a half ago. This was taken less than 48 hours ago. You could search for Pinnacle Chiropractic and Spinal Rehab Center of Highlands Ranch, and you can verify this for yourself, all right? It is atrocious. But is it rare? Well, let's look at another one. Here is Lakes Holistic Care. And this is their social cover, and it's better than the last one, but it's not very good, right? It's pretty bad. And here is Pure Wellness Center, Chiropractic and Massage, which is here in Valencia. Is this one good? It's pixelated. It's not even clear. And it's horrible on top of that. It's bad, okay? Well, here's another one in Santa Clarita area because Valencia is part of Santa Clarita, Inspired Family Chiropractic. Did they intentionally put that filter on there to make it dark and kind of out of focus or what? How did that happen? I don't know, right? But here's another one local to us in Santa Clarita. It's Dr. Brian, and I don't even know if this is legal to have a cover like this because it's kind of a knockoff of Coca-Cola. But even if it is legal, it's still bad. Enjoy chiropractic, whatever, right? And then here's the Spine Center in Valencia. Give you the freedom to move. Yeah, move away from this page probably because it is not a very good photo. I don't know what the trends are for like dimming the photo so it blends in, but I guess when you look this bad or don't have anything useful to say, it's probably better not to be noticed. Here's one of my personal favorites, New Life Chiropractic and Wellness. Just a screenshot or just a stock photograph. I don't think that's very helpful. That's pretty bad, right? This is ridiculous. This is going on as we speak right now in the count of millions of social covers on these websites or these fan pages. But does it get worse? It gets worse. Believe it or not, it gets a lot worse. So let's go back and let's look at giving you the freedom to move. So on the left-hand side, if you look on this on a desktop computer or a laptop, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 doctors. But on a mobile device, which is 61% of all browsers on social media or on a phone, you have 1, 2, 3.5 doctors. What happened to the other 2.5 doctors? Did they quit? Or did they not show up on mobile? No, they got cut in half. And this is what it looks like because people don't know that the image looks differently. It reminds me of the story that Will told me about a survey that was sent out to us parents about the new school year. And Will tries to take the survey and he tells the principal, I think it was the principal, he says, it didn't work for me. And the principal says, well, it worked for me. These people don't know. They don't look at their own stuff on the phone. They see this, they think it works, and they're unaware of how horrible it looks for everybody else. And again, they're not the only one. This is very common. Here's Lakes Holistic Care becomes a lack, as in they lack the social skills and they lack the ability to get customers. I would pose it this to you. They should delete their social cover because this certainly doesn't give them more customers, but it probably costs them customers they otherwise would get. They would be better off with nothing, in my opinion. All right? But maybe this is just chiropractors, massage therapists, and physical therapists. Maybe I just cherry picked this. And I worked like really hard to find the 1 in 100 covers that was showing up that way. Well, let's just look a little further. Let's go to restaurants. You want to talk about something that's really important on social media is a restaurant. Let's look at all these local restaurants. So these are local to me. I did a search. You can do this on Facebook, restaurants near me. Just click on 10 of them. And if 6 out of 10 of them don't look like what I'm about to show you, then never believe another word I ever say again. All right. So here is Los Delicios. It might be delicious. It doesn't look that way. I don't even know what's going on with the top half of the photo and the bottom half of the photo. Here's the Saugus Cafe. And I'm not sure what that old beaten up car has to do with it, but whatever, right? Here's the Bonsai Garden Sushi Bar. This is okay. It's a picture of the restaurant, and it's not that great though. Same thing with this one, Thai Dishes Valencia. It's not helping them. Cold beer, good friends, great times. Well, that's fantastic. It does nothing for me though as a consumer. It's not very helpful to me at all. And there are so many more examples of this I can give you. But it's not just restaurants. Do we have any pet owners here? So there's my dogs, there's Bryce, and there's Kingston's. They're two German Shepherds, and I love them dearly. And I could take them to the local vet, which is the affordable veterinary clinic. And I'm not sure what they're trying to sell me here, but an empty chair doesn't inspire hope that my fur babies are going to get taken care of. Or I could take them to the Valley Lions Pet Hospital, which is like some clip art, Windows 95 stock photo. I don't know what's going on there. Or I could take them to the Cinema Veterinary Center, which I guess some of the techs there do not have heads. And that's kind of scary, isn't it? Because this is another example of how this stuff gets cut off. And on and on and on and on it goes. I could just keep showing you these. To the Point Dance and Pilates Center, which is local to me. This is what they're showing up with. Here's Sierra Dental Care. It's just a woman smiling. Here's Top Spa Nails. It's some dude's feet. Gross, right? Here's a Taekwondo that's close by to us that's cropped and cut off and ugly looking. Looks like it was designed in Microsoft Word. Here's Kids Cuts and Waves. Are those alcoholic beverages? Is that like their whiskey bar at the Kids Cuts and Waves? I don't know. It's weird though. It freaks me out. There's JJ Lawn Care and Services. And another classic Windows Paint design right there. There's All Pest Control Pro, which I don't know what they're going for there. It's kind of cute from a cartoon, but it doesn't do anything for me. There's Honest, Reliable Mechanics. Not reliable. Reliable Mechanics. And one of my personal favorites, here's Bob Boog Realty. It's a empty street. And this is who we're going to buy real estate from. And Bob Boog is about 10 minutes away from where I live right now. Fascinating. Enter Operation Immediate Cash. Get paid and help small businesses who are in the most desperate of situations right now. There is never a better time than right now to update your social cover, to explain what's going on in a COVID world. There's never a better time right now for a business to say, oh my God, I actually got to do stuff that works. Because in the past, if I didn't do stuff that works, I would miss out on revenue. Boo-hoo. That's the pleasure of gain. I don't care. Nowadays, it's like, damn, the difference between getting another customer or not getting another customer may be the difference between me being in business still or being completely out of business. You feel me? This is Operation Immediate Cash. This is why I take this serious. This is why I know a lot of you are about to be in a position where you can make a lot of money. Because we can take somebody like Bob Boog here, and in 1.5 minutes, just going to his website, I was able to transform this into this. Testimonial, call to action with the phone number, the email. I got even old Bob up there looking handsome and chipper, right? We were able to not only get rid of this very ugly, very pixelated, misspelled, reliable mechanics, but again, we switch it over to this. Put a little testimonial in there. I got that testimonial from Google. It was from a Google review. Fantastic. The Dance and Pilates Center automatically has unbelievable photos all over their website that are beautiful and highly professional, well done. You go to their website and they say, our Zoom classes are finally up and running. Check out the schedule. So I just said, okay, this took about 2 minutes. This one was a little extra challenging for me, I guess. And then it turns into this. And then we have our buddy here. We have our chiropractor who goes from this. I went to his website. I found some images. I noticed he was the voted best chiropractor in all of Highlands Ranch. I thought that was kind of a big deal. And in about 2.5 minutes, I created this cover instead. Pretty neat, right? And what I really love too is it automatically, without any real concern on my part, will look good on mobile, which more than 1 in 2 people will see. Now he's showing up. So on the left-hand side is what he currently looks like on mobile. which is not doing him any favors. And on the right is what he could look like. Pretty neat, huh? Are you starting to smell the opportunity? Is your heart starting to beat a little faster? Are you starting to get a little excited about the possibilities? I bet you are. But I also know what else is on your mind. You're starting to go into freak out mode. You're like, well, gee, Jason, how would I create these covers? Especially me. I mean, I suck at graphic design, right? And you're like, how much should I charge per cover? I don't know what to charge. Should I charge this or should I charge that? And how would I get this in front of somebody so they could pay me money right away? How would I take that money? And on and on and on. Good. I want you to be asking these questions because I have meticulously obsessed over how to answer these in the best way so you can get out of your own way and actually make the money. Not analyze the possibility, but actualize the profitability, right? In fact, there are 6 kick butt strategies because this is like taking candy from a baby, although I don't know why anybody would want to take candy from a baby. This is like helping a baby get more candy. These are 6 kick butt strategies that I've identified that you could apply to use these social covers and get paid. I'm going to share you one right now that I think is the most comfortable to start with. Is it the best? It might be the best. It might not be the best. But it is certainly the most comfortable. And I intentionally am showing you this one because I know if I can just get you out of your own damn way, then you can let the money come to you. As opposed to talking yourself out of how it couldn't work or what about this or I'm afraid of that or I'm nervous about this or I'm confused. I'm going to let you like hold on to that and be okay and this bypass it. Okay? You ready for the strategy? I call it the patron swap. The patron swap strategy is very, very clever, and it takes a very slick marketing mind to come up with. But once somebody has come up with it, they can just hand it over to you. And you're like, ooh, that's clever. But you don't have to have the ingenuity to invent it. You just have to copy it. Are you okay with that? Now, important, let me caveat the patron swap. The strategy you're about to discover deals with small businesses located near you. This doesn't mean that the only way to make this work is to do business with businesses that live next to you or close to you geographically, right? The social cover strategy of helping people get rid of their very nasty covers that are costing them money and replacing them with the covers that will make them money, that will work with any business anywhere in any country. You could be in one country and you could sell to a business in another country. As long as it's a small business, it doesn't matter where. But the most comfortable strategy, not the only strategy, I'll show you other strategies here in a little bit, but the most comfortable strategy is to do the patron swap, which goes as follows. First, what we do is we make a list of businesses that you use and like. I recommend you come up with 20 businesses. So write down 20 businesses that you've used at any point in time and that you enjoyed that were local businesses or small businesses. Let me tickle your brain a little bit so you can get some ideas. I'm talking things like restaurants, a dentist. Hopefully all of you have a dentist, right? A veterinarian or a real estate agent or churches even or chiropractors or insurance agents or salons, whatever places or a place that you frequent at least recently or in the last year or two that you liked, you had a good experience and it was enjoyable to you. All right. So you make a list of 20 of those businesses. That's step 1. Step 2, I want you to craft a message almost exactly like the one that I'm going to show you here. So write this down. Here's the message. You ready for it? Goes like this. First, you'd use reciprocity, by the way, because it's one of the most effective sales strategies. You do something for somebody else and then they feel more likely to reciprocate with you. So here's how it goes. I say this. Just left you a 5-star review here, link to the review, and appreciation for what you do. Also, I'm a social media consultant, and notice that your Facebook cover image was a bit off. See below. So you can attach it if you want to. You don't have to, though, right? Anyway, I fixed it. Should help you get more customers. Tell me where to send it, and I'll happily shoot it over to you. All right? Who here feels like they could do that? Does that feel comfortable enough for you? You write a 5-star review, which every business wants. You post it on Yelp. You post it on Google Reviews. I don't care where you post it. Open Table if it's a restaurant. It doesn't matter. TripAdvisor. I don't care. Just write a simple review telling the truth about a business that you enjoy, that you patronize, right? You say, just left you a 5-star review here in appreciation for what you do. Also, I'm a social media consultant. I noticed your Facebook cover image was a bit off. See below. Anyway, I fixed it. Should help you get more customers. Tell me where to send it, and I'll happily shoot it over to you. Will, let's check in with the audience real quick. What's the sentiment going on? Do people see themselves doing it? Do they feel comfortable doing this? Are they freaked out about this? Are they confused? Are they concerned? What's going on?
I haven't seen one no yet.
Okay, good. Now, I know there is at least one no on this call, but that's okay.
Raise the roof, looks good, will do. Okay, there's one that says a little concerned.
Okay, good. I want to know why you're concerned, but I'm not going to wait for your answer.
Connie says maybe.
Maybe. Okay, I'll take a maybe, right?
Yeah.
But if most people are like, got it, awesome. You'll make money sooner. The rest of you maybes and concerns will take you a little bit longer, but we won't give up on you, and we might be able to make you money as well. All right?
Here's a good one. Fear of rejection.
Yeah, so let me help you with that. You will be rejected. But what's the harm in it? Some people will just, you know what the number one way somebody rejects you is they ignore you. You know how easy it is to forget somebody who ignores you when you're having people stuff money in your pockets, right? I want you to reject your way to another $5,000. But some people won't be able to do that, and I get that. So we've removed the fear of rejection as much as possible in this approach. But a little bit it'll be there. You have to weigh my fear of rejection against how much money can I make and how many people can I help. All right? Well, let's just move on. Well, we might touch on this if we have time later. So this is the message. If they don't respond, forget them. Whatever, right? You still did your good deed. You still made the world better because you took a business that was good and you helped them succeed on social media with a review. But if somebody says, yeah, send it on over. I'd like to see this new cover image of yours. I'd like to see this new thing. Then here's your reply. Now, this is the kicker. Pay attention. This is where you use my black belt sales strategies on your behalf. All right, here's how it goes. You say, here it is. You send them over the image. Also, my team did a redesign on all your social media covers, not just Facebook. Since they're already done, I can pass these on to you at cost, whatever you want to charge them. Let me know if this is doable or if I should have the team delete them. That last sentence is the real moneymaker. Let me know if this is doable or if I should have the team delete them. This is that fear of loss striking into their hearts again. So here's what's happened. You reached out to the person. You said, I've done something for you. I'd like to give you something for free. Do you want it? They say yes. So you've helped them and you've offered to help them again. You come back and you over-deliver. You give them all the covers. They can keep just the one that they want, or they can pay you and get the rest. How do you lose in a situation where you're out there providing tremendous value in advance? And the answer is you only lose if you don't play the game. That's the only way you lose. Now, I know some of you say, well, Jason, I don't do stuff with local businesses. I'm not a consultant. Whatever the hell a consultant has to do with any of this, I don't know, right? Then you won't make money with this. I'm sorry, right? But if you say, okay, I want to help a business who has an ugly cover with half their face cropped out, who is losing customers right now, who I love and who I've had a good experience with, give them something that I'm going to charge them for that pales in comparison to what they will pay me in return. Great. Let's go. You're going to be very successful. Here's the biggest concern you should have right now. It should not be fear of rejection because there isn't really any. You know, my kids fear bees, but they've never been stung in their life. So I'm not sure what they fear, really. The possibility of getting stung. You know, I don't know, whatever, right? The real concern is this. What should you charge? And I'm a big fan of whatever you can get when you're starting out. I could charge $1,000, not breaking an eye, and I would get it. Some of you couldn't charge $200 because it would scare you too much. So don't charge $200, okay? Charge whatever you can get. Just know this, that what you're offering is worth thousands of dollars to the business, if not more. And to the skeptics who are like, Jason, I don't know if it's really worth that. I'm going to prove it to you here shortly that, in fact, it is. But here's an even more pressing question that needs an immediate answering, and it's how do you build such covers effortlessly in minutes, even if you're the world's worst designer? That's really the name of the game. If I could show you how to do that, I think you're going to say, okay, I'll do this, Jason. If I can't show you how to knock these covers out, then I don't think you'll be able to do this opportunity. I think that's the maker or the breaker of the Operation Immediate Cash, right? So this is why we bring in a program called Social Covers. Now, briefly in one slide, Social Covers is not my creation. It's by a company named Real Strategic. Leadership is David Sprague. They have 35 employees, and this is who created Social Covers. And Real Strategic is, in my opinion, one of the best kept secrets in the software business because they design software that doesn't just do cool stuff. It's designed specifically to make money. And when I recently found out that David was going to do something drastic and change Social Covers in a major way, I was like, well, let my people get on it first before you make that change. And I also discovered that Facebook is about to make a drastic change that almost none of you know about. So I went to bat and I said, listen, David, if I can educate these people on the real opportunity, can we make them a sweetheart deal? And he says, well, you're going to do all the work. So what are you thinking? So when I asked for the moon, he actually gave it to me. It's amazing what happens when you take that approach. Now, before you find out what the special deal is all about, let me show you how you can effortlessly use the software first to make money. So here's the demonstration. So pay attention to this, because I want you to notice how this thing has been, I don't want to say idiot proofed, because you're not an idiot, right? But it has been proofed so you can't screw it up. It is unscrew-upable. It's unscrew-upable, all right? Because I know if I can eliminate all the ways you fail, then you will succeed automatically as a result of that. And that's what the business I am. I'm in success. This is where my utter distaste of failure comes in. And I just eliminate all the ways you can't screw it up, and you're forced to succeed as long as you do your part. So here's your part. Here's how this works. So say we were going to create a cover image for a dentist. So I would go into Social Covers and I would find a template that is like 90% done for a dentist, like this one right here. And I would click select. Now, we only talked about Facebook covers, but hey, if we're going to lay it out, we should lay it out for Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube as well. And so in order to do that, we just tap or click on all covers, and there you go. Next, you're taken to the Cover Wizard Builder, where you take the template, and here's the default template. I have not touched this template. This template comes already shipped inside of Social Covers, and here's what I got to do to make this unique. So I can click on this smiling, nice-looking woman over here, and I can pick her out, and I can go to the default gallery if I want and take one of the stock images that's already in there, because Social Covers has a lot of really good images. And that's really fast. But let's just say that this was my client or my potential client. I could go to their website, like Little Dental here. And in the bottom left-hand, there is the main dentist. I think he's one of the top dentists in the practice. And there's this dude's picture. So let's just grab the picture from his website, and we can drop it in right there. If you notice the tab that says Site Gallery, it can pull all the images off the website for you. So there it is. So we pick it, we click, we move that little cursor to say this is part of the photo. I want that in the picture, and we click Save, and there it is. Problem. It's got a background, right? So the other cool thing about Social Covers is there's a thing called Background Remover, and I kid you not, all I did was bring this image into Background Remover, and automatically it cropped it out for me. I didn't do a single thing, didn't fiddle a single knob. I just clicked Done, and now here it is. We plug it in there, and there's your cover. Now, this is a matter of taste to me, but I don't like that his blue coat is the same color as the background, so let's change the background. So we click on the background. We can adjust the brightness of it. We can change the overlay cover. When we're done, I now have this, provides a little bit better contrast. Now I need to change the messaging. So I go back to the website, and I notice they have this thing here, $59 new patient special X-ray and full exam. I say that's good enough, because by the way, these Social Covers should have some sort of concept that gets the business, not just a cutesy wootsy, beautiful looking image. It should drive business, which is what we're doing. That's what we get paid, right? So we take this over here, this offer, we go over here, we click on that 69% off dental exam, which is the default. And then we type in $59 new patient special. We do the same thing here with x-rays and cleansing or cleaning. And then we type that in there, x-ray and full exam. And then this is the default image in the right, which is pretty good. But I found an image on their website like this. So I find that businesses like their images that already represent them. So I just plug that in there. and it's done. Now I click on next, and it has designed all my covers for me for all the social media sites automatically. Now here's one of the things that you're going to learn. Twitter has different specifications than Facebook and Instagram, and they all seem to have slightly different inconsistent things. So you can't really build one template that covers everyone. In fact, that's a mistake businesses do, which is why their templates look atrocious, right? So it's pretty good for Twitter, but it's not perfect. So I click on edit cover, and this is what it looks like right now. Now notice that little kind of grayed out area in the bottom left. That's where the icon would be for the Twitter handle. So here's what's awesome. I kid you not, in 30 seconds, I went from this to this because every element is drag and droppable. So I drag it over here, I resize it over here, I moved it over here. So I could take this, 30 seconds later, it becomes this. I know it's going to look beautiful on Twitter, and that's it. So I already took the same elements, just moved them around for each of the different social media platforms. And so in 5 minutes, I have cover images that are 100 times better than their one image that they have on Facebook. And I approve them all, they're good, and I can download them all, and I can fulfill them for the local business, and I can get paid. That's what we have here. That's what social media, that's what social covers is all about. Now, here's what I love about social covers. First is over 12 months were spent going out there and looking at thousands upon thousands of the covers that they could find by the brands who knew what they were doing. And every time they saw a good brand that had a good cover, they say, let's templatize that. So they would take these covers, they turned them into templates, so that way in seconds you could log in, have something that was 95% done for you, click one thing, change another thing, save it, make one or two adjustments, and you have all the social covers for all the social medias. And it took them $14,000 plus to get these templates designed. And here is just a taste of these beautiful templates that await you, that in seconds you can turn into covers for businesses that are so much better than what they have now. And there's different types of covers too, such as covers that make offers. And there are celebration covers for certain specific events. And there's reputation covers. And then there's branding covers. And what can you charge for these covers? Well, if you were to go to 99 Designs, bare minimum, it would be $299. Now, let me tell you about 99 Designs. I don't recommend you ever use it for this type of function because it will take several days of back and forth, of managing, of babysitting, of change requests, and blah, 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 days or weeks. You will get something that will look beautiful. There's no doubt about it. But looking good and getting a business new customers are not the same thing. We want something that looks good and gets the business new customers, which every template automatically has been designed to do without you even knowing how that works. It's kind of like how electricity works. I don't know how it works, but I flick a light switch and I have lights, right? Now, I would recommend, until you know better, here's where you start so you can start making money right away. You say, listen, for $199, I'll give you all the covers, or if you'd like to do ongoing upgrades to your covers, $99 a month. Now, I'm going to talk more about the recurring option, which is what most of you will probably end up doing here in a little bit, all right? This is the one I highly recommend the most to you, is the $99 a month. But if you need to make $200 right away and you're willing to sacrifice the long-term payments, I get it. Just do it. Just make some money first. But let's talk about practical profits, not obscene profits, just practically speaking, what kind of profits can you get? I'm going to give you an ultra-conservative projection. I believe by the end of the year, you can make at least $22,176. There's 20 weeks left in the year. I think you could easily get 4 clients a week and then take December off. So look at December down there, 17, 18, 19, and 20, the last 4 weeks of the year, no more. You get paid up front, which is that $99, and then on every 5th week, it cycles through, and it rebills to you automatically. So by the end of the 20th week, every week you're seeing $1,584 come into you automatically without doing anything. So then when 2021 starts, regardless of where we're at with this is what your monthly calendar looks like. You are guaranteed at least $6,336 coming in with no new clients, just using the software and how it will manage the client for you. This is what I want for you. Now, this is about where it caps, because I don't want you to have to run a whole agency. I don't want you to have to babysit a bunch of clients. I want you to have a nice little passive income stream, and then you can do whatever you want with it. Whether you want to keep it the way that it is, that's your business. Whether you want to go with the business, because these businesses will start saying, hey, I'll pay you money to also do this. And hey, I'll pay you money if you can find me the answer to that. You can do whatever you want at that point. I just want to get you over this hump of having to worry about where the money's going to come from. And this has absolutely been proven to work over and over again. And I could show you person after person that has been using this already to make quick sales very, very effectively and very value-based with social covers. And this is free, what we're facing right now. What I've seen in the last couple of weeks from people using this software in the environment of opportunity to profit right now that we're looking at is just bonkers. It's just bananas. And so I want you to get in on social covers. Now, here's the main reason I had to bring this to you today. Because your investment in social covers is a one only time requirement of $297, and that gets you 12 months of unlimited access. After 12 months, if you want to stay in, it's up to you to renew, or otherwise you don't have to renew. That's on you, right? So you put $297 in, you got 12 months of, here's the key word, unlimited access. This is the last time ever unlimited access will be made available. You see, social covers right now is just getting ready to do a massive update for an upcoming impending event. And when that occurs, they are switching off the unlimited access. So literally, I have the only opportunity allowed to give you unlimited access, which means you can create as many covers as your little heart desires. You don't even have any clue yet what the extra value I have waiting for you is. But I just want to be very clear that when that countdown timer hits 0, this offer is gone and you will never get unlimited access again. So you would have to pay significantly more to be able to deploy covers in the future to the degree that you could do it uninhibitedly today. Now, what is this impending event that I speak of? Right now, Facebook is testing a new page design, and it's actually a cleaner layout, which makes the cover image even more important. And they haven't shared yet when they'll roll out the update more broadly. They're considering it a test still for the time being, so they're only working with celebrities, and they're only doing it on a mobile app viewpoint. So you probably haven't even seen this, but this is happening. It's the best kept secret that's going to happen. And these guys at Social Covers are waiting for the second that that occurs, and they're going to roll out all the new updates. And this is yet another opportunity for you to make money. But you can't wait until then to get Social Covers because you won't have the unlimited capabilities. And furthermore, I recommend you do it now, get the business now, so when the change happens, it's going to be super easy for you to level it up. Now, here's what everyone gets wrong about social covers. I mentioned this earlier. They think of them as billboards, and this is why you see stupid stuff like this always out there in the wild. You should think of a social cover as a living, breathing organism that updates and evolves over time. So what I want you to really offer a business, and this is where the continuity kicks in, I want you to be able to sell them a year's worth of covers. So, and you can do this however you want to, but it could be one cover a month, or it could be like, hey, New Year's, and then it can be a regular reputation, and then on Valentine's, there's a new cover, and then, you know, if they have a good offer at some point in time or a special deal, you put that out there, and then on the 4th of July, it's another cover, and then if they get a new testimonial, that could be a different cover, and Halloween could be a different one, and you get the point, right? But here's what I love about social covers, and this is why I think it's going to make you a lot of money, and this is a testament to why it's designed to make you money. Inside of social covers, there's a function called cover automation, and all you got to do is select a set of covers that have been designed, and then it will automatically schedule them to post and update on the business's page. And this is cool. This is really cool. So in one sitting, in a half an hour, you could build out all 12 of the social covers for the local business. You could schedule them to be released once a month for the next 12 months. And they are automatically scheduled and deployed and published on your behalf. You set it and you forget it. And now you have a client paying you continuity for the whole year for work that you did once in a 30-minute situation. Get it? This is a very important point, so I want to make sure you understand this. Now, here's another extra special feature that we've noticed with social covers. You ever like post a status update and feel like nobody sees it, even the people that follow you or who have liked your content in the past? Well, that's common. Facebook wants you to pay to get in front of your audience that you've already gotten in front of in the past. But for whatever reason, when you update a cover, Facebook just seems to put that in more people's timelines and news feeds than any other type of content. You don't have to pay for that. So countless small business after countless small business has said, whoa, once you updated our cover, all of a sudden we got more response and more engagement than we've seen in recent times. So that's built into the automation. So you sit down, you say, here's your 12-month calendar. Here, I'm going to plug these 12 in. I do this whole in a half an hour, get paid get paid over and over again in perpetuity for one time worth of work, and I'm gone. And again, hats off to these guys who developed the software, because as soon as it's done, you can send an email notification before or after the new covers go out. So now the client's like, damn, you're working hard. You're in there yourself. You're like the hamster on the wheel. You're updating it and you're letting me know when it's updated. Wow, I'm so glad I pay you. And you don't have to tell them that that's automated too. I mean, you can. I don't care if you do or not. But it's really powerful that you have something like that. And one of the bonuses, which we haven't even talked about the bonuses yet, is that I had David's team develop 3 different sets of year-long social cover. So there's the dentist, there's the veterinarian, and there's the pest control. So these each cost $1,000 to design a piece. And what's cool is you just throw in a logo or the company details or both, and you're done. And you have customized for the year for these 3 different specific businesses the whole year's worth of social cover sets that they can pay you $99 a month for. So in 30 minutes, you've covered an entire year, and these are already done for you. So these are even closer to being completely finished, barely touched them, than the rest of them. That's a special bonus for you. Now, it's very important you understand that we've negotiated the last ever opportunity to offer unlimited cover creation to you. So once this offer expires, which you will see when you go to practicalprofits.com, there's a countdown timer there. We can never offer unlimited ever again. It's just $297. You get a full 12 months access of unlimited. And then if you renew, you can continue with unlimited access after that. Now, some of you are like power users. I see like 10% of you, and I know you're like, I want to go crazy, Jason. What about me? I want you to take the reins off. I want to make $60,000 a month. You can, right? So you're like, can I get more covers? Yes, you can. And so they've just recently created another round of about $15,000 worth of additional social media covers. And it's an optional $99 upsell for you. And you see a page that says, hey, one time only, you can get these extra covers for $99 and you want them, add them to your order. If you don't need them, don't add them to your order. I don't really care. It doesn't matter to me. You can decide that you want more templates or not more templates. I mean, for $3 an extra template is probably a good deal, but I just want you to use the software. That's what I want from you, because I know it will help a local business. It will help you get paid. And as a result, I also get paid when you use the software, because David pays me for each new user that I bring in, right? Now, here's what I love about social covers. And I've said this before, and I will keep saying it because I don't want you to miss it. It's super important. It's designed to make you money. Most software is designed to do a function, and then you have to put it through a translation to figure out how to turn that into money. And that's why so many people fail to make money when they use software. But this is designed to make you money. Let me prove it to you a different way. So inside of the system, there is a complete contact management system, a lead management system already built into social covers as well. All right? So if you click on the section that has the actions for the covers and the activities for the brand that you're servicing or the company that you want to reach out to become a paid client of you, there is this action, send draft email. And you could select that, and then you can select the covers that you want to attach to that draft email. So in this case with the Point Ballet, I attach them all. And then here's what's cool. It will show the business, if you wish to show them, here are all your covers. So remember earlier when I said, hey, my team created the rest of your covers for you. Let us know if you want those as well or we should delete them. You can just send them this page. Automatically inside the email follow-up, if you want to, it'll automatically take care of it for you. You can also send it to them like this. And this is what I really love. This is where somebody's going to feel stupid with what they currently have and then want to pay you to fix it. They're going to say, oh my God, this is what we have? We don't even have a YouTube cover image? oh, it looks horrible. It clips over here. It doesn't look right. And this is what it could be. And it's only $99 a month? How many businesses do you think are going to say no to that? And you could run that whole thing from the system. It could set it up. It can send out the emails to the businesses on your behalf. It can automatically take your covers and put them in there. It deploys them. It puts it in front of the business. It handles the whole thing from start to finish, essentially. Again, I must stress that this is the last time ever. You can hold me to this. You can definitely validate this yourself later, because you won't be able to, because this is the last time ever that you're going to get unlimited until that countdown timer expires, which is very shortly. Now, let me give you another killer money-making strategy, because here's my problem. When you have something so powerful, how do you describe all of its power and all of its beauty? And it's very challenging, and it's very hard. So this is why I've kind of had to break it out and do this presentation a little bit differently. But let me give you another strategy. Try this one on for size, will you? All right, here's how it goes. You go to your Facebook, and you post something like this. It doesn't have to be Facebook, by the way. It could be Instagram. It could be whatever social medias you use. And here's just a taste. If I'm on Facebook, I can post something like this. Since Facebook is about to update their fan page layouts, I've decided to create a new cover for the next 3 local businesses to respond who currently know their Facebook page cover image needs updated. Just comment, I'm interested below, and we'll go from there. All right? So write this down. Capture this. Because I believe any one of you could post this on your Facebook profile and make money. Period. And this is yet one of many more strategies that David's going to teach you when you sign up for social covers, because you're going to get an education component about how to best deploy it and use it as well. And we'll cover that in a second. But just can you post this? Can you see yourself doing this? Yes, it's going to require you putting yourself out there a little bit, but everything else has been figured out for you. So do you want the money or do you not want the money? Now, here's the real power of this, though, which shows you why this software is designed to make you money. I want you to marvel at how you deliver this. When somebody says, I'm interested, you send them a link that Social Covers will give you to a form that looks like this. So inside your Social Covers area, or inside the system, when you log into Social Covers to use it, it's going to give you a special link to a page like this. And you send this to a company. The company puts in their name and it automatically finds them because it ties into Google's like business search, and in seconds they type it in there, they plug in their information. Now there's a very well done professional video of that dude you see on your right there, and he talks through, here's what's going to happen, our designers need a few details, here's what's going to happen next. It's really slick, right? So the business is self-serving and not realizing that they're self-serving. They fill this out, they click the next step. The business chooses the template that they like. Or they can skip this step and let the design expert choose your design for you. And again, that handsome young man is going to walk them through what's going on. It's going to feel super professional. It's going to be super slick and all that kind of stuff. They choose their template, and then they get to the last page, and it says the details have been sent to our design team, and we will send you your awesome covers shortly. And then there's an email follow-up sequence that goes out on your behalf that says it takes us about X number of hours to get it. And then when it's done, we'll send it to you. And then it waits a day or it waits 2 days because it's feeling like somebody is handcrafting and designing it and delivering it and really sweating it out when it's done all automatically. And that's built into this system as well. And so you can have people that respond to your one free cover, get it automatically without you ever touching it, and then you can have the system follow up and say, would you like the other covers? It's only this much to get them. All built in natively into the system. You don't need a third-party mailing service. You don't need a fourth-party web page building service. You don't need a fifth-party lead management system. You don't need a sixth-party, whatever the case may be, right? It's all done. It's all built natively into the system, which makes us a ridiculous steal at just $297, especially for unlimited, because everything is unlimited. That lead contact management system, you could send out an unlimited number of businesses. You could fulfill an unlimited number of businesses inside that. So it's not just an unlimited number of covers, it's just an unlimited number of everything, right? Let's take it even further. What if you wanted to have a specific website published that sold these social covers for you, that built you your business on your behalf, and you didn't need to buy a third-party web page building software thingamajigger in order to do that? What if that was built into social covers as well? It is. Here's what it looks like. You go to landing pages, and then you select from one of the 12 templates, all right? So let's just select the first one. Here's what it looks like. It does the job. Are there prettier websites out there? Yeah, but they're not automatically built in split seconds. But we could customize this website from here's what it looks like currently, just so you can see it. We can customize this to be exact to us if we want to. I don't recommend you spend much time on it, but it could look like this. So here's how I built the one out that I'm showing you right now. First, I clicked on your logo, and then I type in your company. So I typed in Rapid Crush Inc. If you wanted to add an image, you add an image. Now, I have nothing against this woman here, but I might as well put a cool shot of me on stage. I don't think it matters. Any stock photo will probably do. And then because now it kind of blends in with the background, I'm going to just put a little box over that. And these are literally just settings. This took me about 5 minutes to build this website. I didn't like their brown color, so I turned it to blue. All right, and there you go. So brown goes to blue. And down here, same thing. I turned this to blue as well. And I didn't like this brown stuff, so I turned this to blue too. All right. And then they had their photos of their covers as examples, so I'd already built some. So I just put the ones in that I designed instead. And you could put in even more, right? My favorite thing about this website, though, is automatically already embedded in your website is this give me my free social cover, right? So get your free social cover to convert more customers for a limited time. You can get this thing. Normally it's $4.99 for free. Any business who goes to your website and clicks on this goes through the same process. Remember this process? They put in their name. The system captures it. They select their design. The system builds it. The system sends it to them. Now, by the way, this is the confirmation email. I didn't show you this earlier. You can customize this if you want to, or you just leave it as is. So we are excited you got a chance to take advantage of our social cover offer. This email is to confirm we've received your information. One of our designers will be assigned to your project in the next 4 to 12 hours. About 48 hours from now, one of our executive designers will follow up and send you an email with your social cover design. Pretty slick, right? All that's built into the system. What's really cool is it tracks the business from start to finish, from when they went to your website to when they filled in the contact details, the cover details, when they clicked next, when they chose a design, when they clicked this button to get their cover, every part of the process, where they're at, and then there's follow-ups that go inside of that to coincide with getting them through the next step and getting them through the next step. Now, here's an advanced strategy for you to do if you really want to take it up to the next level. It's specialists always make far more money than generalists. Your radiologist makes a lot more money than your local ears, nose, and throat doctor does. So here's what you can do. And you can build an unlimited number of these websites. You turn this thing into that thing. So instead of get your free social media cover with some woman, you put an image of somebody with their teeth getting worked on and get your free dental social media cover. And you change to attract more customers, to attract more patients. And now you're the only person specializing in dentists who need a cover image on their social media, and this website will do it all for you, and you can build it, you can customize it, you can build as many of these pages as you wish to, and you could just repeat the process over and over again. Let me show you everything you can get. You sign up, you get $297 as your investment. You get a full year of unlimited access. The last time ever this will be offered before it expires, which it will shortly. You get the software so you can unlimitedly create covers. You get 30 proven cover templates that sell and engage that cost over $14,000 to develop. You get that built-in content manager and lead management system follow-up. You also get that unlimited lead capture, meaning you can capture as many businesses who are willing to put their information in as there are out there. You get all 12 templates you can use for the 12 different website layouts, like I showed you earlier. That automation, you can get unlimited social automation posting. I don't know if you have experience with software, but nobody does this. Nobody does unlimited automation or unlimited, and these guys aren't going to do it anymore because it doesn't make sense to. So this is the last chance to get unlimited in all these situations. Now there is a bonus. Bonus number 4, done for you business contacting for your first 20 businesses. I'm going to touch on that in a second, okay? But you also get those 3 done for you full year-long social covers in those 3 different niches, veterinarians, dentists, and pest control, so you can sell a full year just like that out of the gate. David and I are going to do a private call called the COVID call on some specific angles and markets that are open right now based on what's happening with COVID-19 that are extra valuable for you to serve and therefore extra profitable to you. And in fact, I asked David if he would create customized, very specific COVID cover designs as well. And these have never been seen before. Literally, the value on something like this is over $30,000, and it makes sense. That's why I'm a little concerned if you're going to look at $297 and say it can't be this good for this price, but it is. And that's a fact. I'm going to answer a couple questions here shortly, but I have some more goodness for you that I got to get through first, all right? So what has this done for you biz contacting for your first 20 businesses? So it wasn't an accident that I had you write down 20 businesses earlier on the patron swap technique, right? Because here's what you do. You go to David's team and you provide the name and address of 20 businesses that you would like to sell social covers to. Then they will contact those companies for you. And they will set up a 5-step email contact sequence branded with your contact information, all right? And they will connect you with the company in real time when the company responds. So if you want to make money right on the spot, you can, okay? I asked David straight up. I said, David, how can you afford to do this? And he says, well, you know, it's goodwill and it's good for the blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, David, seriously. I'm asking you straight up, how can you physically afford profit-wise? Why would you do this? Because you're probably going to spend more money than whatever your profit margin is on this. And he goes, oh, yeah, you're right. We lose money on this, Jason, but we do this because we have other software that may make sense for our users in the future. So call this digging the well before we're thirsty. And I said, okay, got it. That's cool. That makes sense to me. So they're going to get you your first 20 businesses for you. And then obviously, if you like them after that and they make you other offers, you should say yes to them. That makes sense to me, okay? You don't have to, but that's kind of the MO of what's going on here. And David also has the promise of success, and it goes like this. Because they are heavily invested in you, there's no money back guarantee associated with this. You either get it or you don't get it, right? But in another way, there is a guarantee of success, and it goes like this. David, and this is a direct quote for him, follow the exact process, and if it doesn't return you at least 100% of the money you invested, I will personally put you on a call with others that are being successful and coach you, and we will help you get sales, because there are a lot of successful people using this, even though David hasn't marketed it, not really, not like I'm doing here right now, all right? So that's what's at stake for you. Oh, by the way, here's another killer strategy. So you have the ability, once you create a template, you can save it as like a master template, which is one of my favorite strategies, because I want to design one Pilates template or one dance template and then just recreate it over and over and over again and just change the business logo and the business contact information. And now I could very effortlessly spin up thousands of such designs without breaking a sweat, because I just designed it once and saved it as a master design. And you could do that an unlimited number of times. You also have the ability to get notifications on when people send you contact information. So when somebody says, I want my design, or I want my free design or whatever, you can set it up so you can get a text message. You can set it up so that way, as soon as they give you the phone number, it calls you and then it connects you to the company that gave you the phone number. So in real time, you can have them email or you can have them do all three. I love the checkbox. I understand that the best time to contact a company is within 2 minutes of opening my email. So you can set up a notification that when a business opens up your email, 2 minutes later, you can personally text them, you can personally call them, you can personally email them, you can personally contact them. And these guys built software that makes you money. That's the name of the game here, right? There's another way that you can prospect here to get business. So you don't have to do the patron swap. You can fill out a local business name. And then you put in the contact name of the person, their phone and their email. If you don't know that yet, use the first 20 as a bonus that was given to you. If you want to go further, I got something for you here in a bit I'll talk about. You fill this out, you build the design for them, just in point and click, and it automatically sort of sells it on your behalf. Because you plug in their social media platforms and it pulls out what they have versus what they could have. You fill in the information yourself. I've been a customer, or this, or what's your experience? Is it this, this, or this? If so, write in this, choose the type of person you want to contact, what's the call to action, and then boom, it will build your 5 autoresponder messages on your behalf, all built into the system, all automatically integrated with the designs, all done point and click, point and click, point and click. $297, last chance for unlimited. They are absolutely ready for you to help them. These local businesses are, and they are eager to pay you a whopping $99 a month. Now you could charge more, and I would recommend you charge more, and clients have charged more. As you see here is Rick has sold one for $404 monthly. So somebody paid him $367.40 up front, and they pay him $404.76 monthly. David sells them at $497 a pop. I'm just saying, when you're starting, just make some money. It's really easy to raise your prices after you get people to pay you the prices I suggest. So just make some money, all right? That's all I want you to do. Just make some money, all right? Now, again, David and I are going to do a COVID call, and this is going to be on the 25th of August. We'll also record this, so you'll get the recording of it if you're not there live. But if you're there live, even better, come say hi. It's going to be exciting. And we're going to both break down specifically all the different really lucrative ways we believe that these covers will sell even better right now than at any point in time. And then again, we also give you specific covers that I had negotiated on your behalf to get as part of this special last chance deal to get unlimited. Now, some of you may have seen Lead Kahuna as you signed up as an optional included software that you could add to your order. And I asked them to put this in here very simply because I know some of you will struggle with this concept of, well, I don't have the business's contact information, Jason, and I get it. Now, they will give you the first 20 as a bonus, as I discussed earlier, so I understand how that's important to you. But Lead Kahuna will get you all kinds of additional contact points and all sorts of other data. It's really cool, and it's really effective as well. And so I've arranged for a special better than public offering only for customers who sign up with Social Covers. And again, you take that, you don't take that. That's up to you. I just figured some of you will have that on your mind, and I wanted to be useful to you right now as opposed to having that conversation later on, perhaps. Believe it or not, finally, I'm on slide 226 out of slide 226. That is the official presentation, but when I do these live trainings, I absolutely enjoy interacting with you right now while we're live to figure out what I said and how you interpret it and understood it. And if there's some gap there that we can connect, that would help you decide, does this make sense for me to go forward with or not? So Will, let's take the time to dig into some of these questions and some of these insights, okay?
Awesome, Jason. So let's talk a little bit about, I've been answering some questions. Let's talk a little bit about some of the other things that are inside their Social Covers membership that we haven't discussed, because the questions that I'm seeing a lot here in the chat box relate to, what do I say to the business? How do I contact? I mean, you cover some of that, right?
Yep.
But what we did not tell you, which is amazing, is that there are specific scripts that you can use for email, for phone calling, if you want to do phone calling, which is totally optional, right? For contacting them on their social media pages directly. These are word-for-word scripts, copy and paste.
Yep.
Entire campaigns. If they say this, you say that type scripts, right? So you don't have to worry about, like Jason said earlier, you don't need to be a salesperson. You don't need to know how to sell. Super important. So we've been focusing here on the features and functionality, but it's important for you to understand that this is an entire system, yep, which has the software as one component, which is a great component. It's the enabler, right? Without the software, you couldn't do this as easily. Yep. But the lead capture information, the ability for the business to go and interface with your service, the ability for them to review the covers. Oh my gosh. Like when you create a cover in a few minutes and say, listen, this is something I just threw together in 5 minutes. We can make it better, of course, right? But here, compare this one to your current one. I mean, that is just like, when you take a business, when you take that chiropractor holding the mock of the spine and you send him what it could look like and what it does look like, and when you send that, and when he sees that, looks like this on Facebook, looks like this on mobile, looks like this on Twitter, looks like this on whatever else, right?
Yep.
I mean, it is just an absolute no-brainer. And you don't have to go through a lot of effort to do this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you bring that up, Will, because certainly we want to prepare you for every situation. All right, so the hardest nut to crack, we want to give you a nutcracker for that. So there's the scripts in the system, and there's the bases that are covered. But here's the experience that you're likely to incur in the real world. A business says, whoa, it's only $99. Shut up and take my money, right? There is no sophistication here. There is no 5-step whispering of sequences of words with persuasion laced selling technique involved, right? It's a stupid offer that somebody's going to feel dumb for not paying for, and they can clearly see without any explanation on your part how valuable it is. So you have to trust that you are not, you have to admit, okay, this is even a better way to phrase it. You have to admit that you are not the factor that determines success or failure here, which I know is different than in most businesses, right? Your skill set is not the determining factor of your success here. Your ability to just put something out there in the way that I described you, that is the determinant of success. It's not a high skill activity though, which is why I know it's hard for you to have a frame of reference for, because you're probably not used to that, right? There are sales scripts in there, certainly. David prepares them and does a very good job of it, because his whole business is teaching people that do business for local consulting to do better and have an edge, right? I'm telling you, that's like bringing a tank to a gunfight, right? You just say, here's what you have. Here's what you could have. Here's how you could have it 10,000 times better, not just in design, but in automation and updating and on all across the board. Pay me $99 a month for it. And oh, by the way, if you're like most businesses right now, you're hemorrhaging customers and you need to do something to fix that, so you're hyper motivated to pay money to people. It is only scary in your mind, or it's only not possible in your mind, because in the real world, that doesn't jive. In the real world, it's very, very, very probable, which is why I'm teaching this to you here today, because of the lack of sophistication involved in it. I mean, it is sophisticated, but it's been solved because the social covers does all the sophistication for you. So you flip the switch on and there's the light. That's what's really going on here. But yeah, rest assured there is training upon training upon training as it relates to how to utilize this system.
Awesome. So the price, once you sign up for $297 today for 1 year of unlimited access, the other benefit you get is that you are grandfathered into that price. So Lori says, I'm worried that next year they're going to ask me to pay a lot more money for it. No.
Good point.
That is a good point, Lori. And no, you are grandfathered into this. And in the future, when this sells for much more than $297 and definitely not unlimited, those people that sign up in the future, they will never get unlimited. They'll pay whatever for a limited number of businesses they can service. You will continue to get unlimited next year and the year after that and the year after that, as long as you're a member, as long as you do not let your membership lapse, because you will be grandfathered at this price and at the unlimited level. Yeah.
The amount of money that they've had to invest in this software to do what they're getting ready to roll out, I can't really say it publicly. And they've updated it for the new Facebook stuff. They've updated some of the technologies. They've really made it, wow, it's gonna be crazy, right? They're doing that so they can prepare for the future and prepare their customers as well. None of that's needed today, or maybe even for the next 6 months, right? But because it cost them a pretty penny to make that upgrade, that is the catalyst for them to change their pricing and their usage. So this is the last chance, and we made sure to get in on it when we could before the last chance was over. But rest assured, and I will fight on your behalf if anything like this ever occurs. Otherwise, you are locked in at that price, $297. And by the way, after a year, if you don't want to continue, it's not an auto rebill. It doesn't automatically whack your credit card again. You have to go out of your way to renew. But I don't want a situation where any of you are like a drug addict because somebody gave you the first hit for a little bit and then got you hooked, and now you have to pay them an exorbitant amount of money. That's not going to happen here. So $297, you're locked in at that price for as long as you stay a current member. Now, after 1 year, if you say it's not for me and then you come back a year later and say, I want that $297 again, you won't get it, okay? But that's on you. You got to decide after a year whether you want it or not. This thing will pay for itself within the first few days. Heck, a lot of you can just do this for yourself and use the social covers, and it will help you personally enough, significantly, that it'll more than take care of itself.
Yes, price locked means the same price annually. Yes.
Yep.
Same price annually. That's what price lock means. It means it will not change. When you renew next year, it is exactly the same price. It does support LinkedIn. So it creates LinkedIn banners, covers, whatever they call
Yeah,
it.
let me caveat that. So LinkedIn is the only one currently that doesn't do automated posting to it. So it's the only one manually you would have to go in and add them to if you wanted to update them. And that's a function of LinkedIn. It has nothing to do with social covers. Social covers can't control it, but it does use LinkedIn. I will tell you,
The
most
cover
business.
and the right size and all that.
Yeah, absolutely. When you build your one cover, it will build you a perfectly designed LinkedIn cover as well. I will tell you, most businesses don't use LinkedIn, and it's not part of their deal. So for most of you, you don't have to worry about LinkedIn. But for those of you who want to use this as LinkedIn, talk about an absolute gold mine of a strategy. Because I didn't show any of the LinkedIn stuff right now, but if you thought Facebook looked bad, wait till you see LinkedIn.
So for those of you who reside outside of the United States, you can sell covers into your local market. If your customers speak English, that's great because all the interfaces they will see are in English. However, you can also sell into the United States or other English-speaking countries. That is not an issue. So you can live in Egypt and sell to businesses in the United States.
Or Australia.
There's not a whole lot of selling. There's not a whole lot of selling going on. You're just showing the business what you can do for them with a sample quickie cover you can create in 5 or 10 minutes or less. And you send it to them and say, hey, this is what you have. This is what we've taken the liberty of creating for you. Let us know if you'd like these or if we should just go ahead and delete them.
Yeah.
I love that delete strategy, right?
Yeah, that came from my demented brain. That's a new add-on there because I know when somebody has something in front of them that they could have that otherwise could be deleted forever in their mind, they are more likely to take it serious, pay attention to it, and therefore pay for it. And so, yeah. By the way, you can do this in non-English speaking countries as well because like Will could go to Brazil, where he's originally from, create a banner in Portuguese, and he could sell that very effectively, all while still being in the United States selling to businesses in Brazil or anywhere in the world for that matter. Basically, if it's a place where a social media presence is already being attempted by the business and it's done poorly, and they are updating their page daily, which 1 out of 2 businesses are. Think about that. Every day they're on social media trying to drum up business. And then they wonder why it's hard. Well, it's hard when half of your face is cut out. That's kind of hard, right? And so you find one of those businesses, they could speak Klingon for all I care, right? The money cash is the same.
Might have a hard time typing the Klingon on the screen, but hey.
Yeah, that's going to be your big challenge. Not selling the Klingon. It's figuring out a keyboard that'll support Klingon.
All right. So on average, Jason, from Social Covers clients that are doing this already,
yep.
I'm going to try and attempt this question, right? Always be careful with averages because I like what Jason says it. If you have if Bill Gates enters a room with, 5 other people who are absolutely broke, right? And Bill Gates walks in, the average net worth is billions and billions of dollars. That doesn't tell you anything about that the 5 other people in the room are broke, right? So
yeah, the average billionaire is in the room, right? It's like, oh, okay, that doesn't help me.
Yeah, on average, there's billionaires in the room.
The average person is worth $13 billion in that bar. So if Bill Gates joins you for a drink at the bar, you guys are on average each worth a couple billion if there's like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of you at the bar.
But on average, and I've spoken to a few of their clients, and Jason has gotten results from a few of their clients as well. With these strategies, it depends on what business you're going to attempt to contact, right? For the businesses that are maybe in your local area, that you have purchase something from or that you are a patron of, that number of how many you contact versus how many you close is super high because the script in which you're going to use to contact them says, hey, Joe, I'm one of your customers. I'm going to leave you a 5-star review. By the way, I noticed that this is an issue.
Yep.
I've taken the liberty to fix it for you. Here you go. Let me know where to send this to you. Right? Would you like it? And then the reciprocity kicks in. So it is not going to be unusual at all for 7 out of those 10 businesses to tell you yes. Not going to be.
I mean, you could screw up the messaging and get 0 out of 10, right? Or you can get 10 out of 10. I don't know. It doesn't really matter to me. I don't care about percentages or conversion rates because they're not useful information to me. It doesn't change my approach. My approach is to use that reverse reciprocity strategy. My approach is to give something away of value for free that if I just show it without selling it, it'll be super valuable, right? Now, let me be very clear here. There's a lot of morons in the world. And for evidence of that, just look at anybody's social media feed right now, and you will see an abundance of idiots, right? There's a lot of them, okay? So there's a good chance that some of the business owners that you contact will be of below intelligence, both in business and in life, right? So it doesn't matter how good your strategy is, how great your covers are, how good the weather is for you that day. You will not sell that business, and it has nothing to do with you or what you're offering or what your approach is. So I don't really get bogged down in percentages because I let the idiots sort themselves out from the more intelligent and more capable. But the only way I can find the more capable is to continue to put the message out there far and wide as quickly as I can. So if you look at the finer points, and I'm going to talk about this on my call with David, I don't create any cover in advance. I say, I've created a cover for you. Would you like to see it? And if they don't respond back, I'm out 0 minutes because I didn't create the cover. If they say yes, I take the 1.5 minutes to create a cover for them, and then I send it over to them, right? And then because it took an extra 2 minutes to move some images around to make all the covers, it's done. Is it a little slick? Yeah, it's a little slick. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It's helpful to the business. Sometimes you got to trick the kids in order for them to eat their vegetables. I don't know if you've ever tried that, right? But you gotta be clever, right? Like I told my kid I have a sleeping potion for him. I put a little bit of vanilla and a little bit of cinnamon in milk, and he sleeps like a baby throughout the night, right? I don't explain to him that there's no scientific basis for that sleeping potion. It's the power of suggestion. And so this is a little bit of how we slip the value potion into the local businesses with that. So you say, I left you a 5-star review. Boom. That might take you a minute or two. Don't wax poetic. Just say, this is a really awesome business. I really enjoy it. I highly recommend it. 5 stars. Boom. You show that to them. I left you a 5-star review. Oh, by the way, I noticed your social media cover on Facebook is off. See the screenshot or whatever. It doesn't really matter. I created a new one for you. Would you like me to send it to you? If they don't respond, you don't create it. How many of those messages could you send out a day? Okay? Your real problem is going to be this. It's not going to be the rejection or the amount you didn't close, right? Your real problem is going to be, can you handle 25 clients by next week? Or will that overwhelm you? Will that stress you out? Some of you, just the number of clients that you have to keep track of in your mind, not physically because the software does that, will be too much too soon. So don't bite off more than you can chew. So I would push back on you and say, not how many will say no to you. Are you prepared to handle the many that will say yes to you? And just ramp it up. Don't go crazy on this. Okay, everybody's going to be a superstar on January 1st when the gyms open and they made their New Year's resolution. But by January 15th, they're 2 pounds heavier than they were on December 31st. I don't want you to go crazy in and be all rabid because you'll probably just be like, I didn't instantly look at the software and it spit money out at me, and so therefore I'm going to quit it. I don't want you to do that, right? I just want you to close 4 businesses a week. And whether you got to contact 5 or 10 or 12 in order to do that, then you do. It doesn't matter to me. Outcome is still the same. You fight for the result and you really don't care about the rest of it. That's the play here. Oh man, why do we offer this strategy? Because I could show you ways to do other things online to make money, several of them, because we've perfected many ways of going about it. But why I like this approach is because small businesses right now are struggling. They're being kicked in the teeth. Governments are taking advantage of them, telling them what they can and can't do, promising them relief in one hand. You know, it's funny because a lot of things are a partisan issue, either a conservative or a liberal issue. Both are now piling up on the small business. They can't win no matter who they turn to. And that's why I love capitalism, because in the marketplace, value can rise to the top. And if we show up with value, we help those who need that value, and we are rewarded for this value. So that's why I chose this. The other reason why I chose this is because they will pay you real money. The biggest thing I struggled with is the $99 a month price point. Most customers I know, social covers, very quickly charge more than that. I think you should charge more than that, but I want to make it so ridiculously easy for you to get your first win that you don't have to stress about it, worry about it, consider it, think it over, deliberate. What should I price it at? Blah, blah, blah. Just make some money, please. Just make some money right now, okay? Nothing would make me happier. I would rather you make $99 tomorrow than wait a week and a half and figure out some strategy to make $299 with this. Because during that week and a half of you really thinking hard, you could have closed 10 other businesses. I'm serious here. Nobody's getting helped right now. If you're not doing this, you're not getting help. I'm not getting help. David's not getting help. And most important, the small business is not getting help. Oh, real quick too, Will. One of the reasons these covers are so bad right now is because 2 years ago, a business paid somebody to do this, and then that business is gone who helped them. And so Facebook continually changes its specs. And so these businesses are not even aware of, in most of the cases, that their stuff is broken. And so just showing them that this is broken. Now, social covers updates when other things update. That's why they rehauled this system for the newest updates that are coming out ahead of time, right? So a lot of these were right at one time. They paid significantly more to be right for a one-off thing, and now it's wrong, and they're not even aware it's wrong. So when you point it out to them, they'll be very eager and very quick to pay you money to fix it.
So it's really important to understand here that what you charge the local business is up to you.
Yeah.
You can charge them $10 if you'd like. We don't recommend it, but you could charge them $10. You could go to your sandwich shop that you like and say, listen, I'll do this for free if you give me a couple of free meals. That's fine too. But we don't recommend it, right? We recommend that you price it at least at $99 because I guarantee you they pay a heck of a lot more for any social media work that they do. And then, you know, you can charge as much as $200 very easily. There are social covers customers right now that are charging upwards of $500 for one single set of covers. That doesn't mean one cover. It means one for each social media property because you can do them all together at one time. It doesn't take any extra effort. So they charge $500 for one set. And very often they charge $100 to $200 per month to update the covers all the time. And there is a benefit to the business that when the covers get updated, people see that information in their news feeds quite often. Not all the time, because you can't guarantee all that stuff, but very, very often. Facebook likes to tell people that covers have changed, right?
It's because they're updated so infrequently that Facebook makes a big deal out of it when it happens.
Yeah, so you can easily give away one free cover and say, should I delete? I've done the rest. Can you cover my cost?
Yep. This
is my cost. Or should we just delete them? And they're not going to say no to you. Now, how things like how you take payment and all that stuff, it doesn't really matter. You can take payment however you would like. Doesn't matter to you if they send you a check, if they pay you with $100 bill, or if they pay you in dollar bills or
you can
quarters.
Use Cash App, you can use Venmo, you can use PayPal, you can set up Stripe. Just take the money. Let's not get complicated, right?
Yeah, so we don't want to complicate any of that stuff, right? Just take the money. Now, I want to correct a couple of things, Jason, just So we have clarity here.
Yep.
Emails when you sign up for social covers will come from strategic marketer, not real marketer, strategic marketer. Okay, so watch for emails when you sign up from strategic marketer or David Sprague. Also, the 297, it is Jason. I just confirmed with them that it will auto bill next year.
Oh, okay.
They can cancel anytime.
Got it. All right.
The reason they auto bill is because they don't want the membership to lapse and then they lose the unlimited access.
Got it. Okay. Good to know. So yes, you just mark it on your calendar if you want to keep it or not.
Yeah, so you can cancel at any time, but it will automatically rebill, and that is good for you because otherwise you would lose the unlimited. Because if you let it lapse and it cancels and then you realize next week, oh my God, I lost access. When you sign up, the system won't let you sign up for the unlimited anymore because that will be gone. So, anyway, some questions here. I love this question, Jason, and I would like you to address it. But I'm gonna keep you to a 2-minute time frame to address it because we have way too many questions, and I would like to get to as many as possible.
Okay, good.
So Bobby says, and I'm going to paraphrase something to the effect of, "Wait, businesses are struggling right now.
Yes.
Why would they? How are they going to be willing or able to pay us to do this?"
Yeah, so this is a counterintuitive way of life, but this is how it works, and it's happened in anybody can affirm this in their own buying behaviors, right? When you're doing really good, you're not coming to how to make money online webinar, are you? If you've made a lot of money, the last thing you're doing is getting on a webinar with me. Typically, the people that get on these webinars are people that are struggling and need help because they're in such a desperate situation. And that is the same thing with a business. When there's a hole in the ship, there's an urgency to plug that hole. And that's what's going on with local businesses right now. It's because they're losing money. They know that whatever they're doing right now isn't working. And if they keep doing it, they will continue to lose money. So now they're very open to doing anything else other than what they're currently doing. They're highly suggestible. And so believe it or not, now is the best time to contact a business because their ship is sinking and you're coming in with hole filling material and asking a small amount of money to fill the hole in their ship. And that's why this will work so well. It is because they're hemorrhaging money that you're going to be successful with this.
Okay. Another set of questions, and here's what I'm going to do to save time. I'm not going to answer everybody's question, but I'm going to pull questions together. So when I ask Jason, your question may not be asked exactly in your words. I may not say your name. However, listen carefully because the answer will be based on your question as well. First, let me address this. The Lead Kahuna software is an upsell. So when you purchase social covers, you're going to get all the covers and the sets for chiropractors, veterinarians, and what was the third one, Jason? The pest control, right? Pest control. And all these bonuses that we show here. Immediately after you purchase, you will see an upsell. And it says, hey, do you want to get more covers, more cover templates? And you are welcome to do it or not do it. It is completely up to you, right? It is 30 additional templates, if I remember correctly, Jason, for $99, right?
Something like that, yep.
And when you renew your service next year, you don't have to pay for that additional. You get that. Then there will be another upsell for Lead Kahuna. So Lead Kahuna is a special software. It is different and is not included in the social covers offer. You do not have to have Lead Kahuna. Jason talked about what Lead Kahuna can do for you. It is an amazing piece of software. Amazing piece of software. So you should consider it, but you can review all of that after you purchase social covers. Social covers is the main offer that gets you all the bonuses and everything you see here on the screen. Okay? There is no refund policy, so this is either you take it or not, but Jason covered this earlier. Jason, so let's talk about what their guarantee is of success.
Yeah, so basically it's, and let me see if I can find it real quick. If not, then I'll spout it off of memory. Here we go. Follow the exact process, and if it doesn't return you at least 100% of the money you invested, I will personally put you on a call with others that are being successful and coach you, and we will help you get sales. Okay? So the reason why there's no guarantee for this is because it costs them money to fulfill on this, a significant amount, as you can probably tell with all what's going on here, right? And so instead, though, they still want you to be whole. They want everybody to succeed who signs up for this. And so they will connect you and pair you with successful people if you don't meet success.
So, Jason, that guarantee is from David Sprague, the creator of the software, right? It is not Jason who's going to get on the phone with you. Not me who's going to get on the phone with you. It is David who will get on the phone with you.
And I don't know if he gets on the phone with you. I think he connects you with a community to help you be successful.
Yeah, he will put you in a small group, I believe is how he said it, that will help you be successful. So the cost of Lead Kahuna, I believe, is $299.
I think you got muted there, Will. So, but here's the thing about Lead Kahuna is that's for you really if you want to take a local business and really go to the moon with them. What I mean by that is small sales lead to big sales. So when somebody pays you a small amount of money to do a cover for them, they are very open to you doing other things for them. In fact, they will bring them to you first. And then you could say yes to them or you can say no to them. So if you're in the mood of understanding that once you have somebody paying you money, it's really easy for them to want to pay you more money, then Lead Kahuna is your jam. You should use it. On the flip side, I have positioned this and told you that this can just run as it is, and you don't have to worry about a back-end plan or, other stuff that you could follow up with the business and make it a full-time deal or this and that, right? So Lead Kahuna might be too much for you. The other thing Lead Kahuna really does is it pulls all sorts of data for you to really hand you leads on a silver platter. So if you said, I want this particular very specific type of business because I know that I could do really well with them and I need all the information from them to be weeded out so I can automatically put in a plan of action for these covers and for other stuff if I want to do that, then Lead Kahuna is really where it's at. Lead Kahuna is the flagship software that David Sprague had created, the guy who created Social Covers here. That is their whole main hub of their business that allowed them to break into the Inc. 500 as Lead Kahuna. And it's not normally the price that you're seeing as a special add-on only exclusively for you through this promotion of Social Covers. Again, though, let me very much stress this. Everything I taught you today is valid without Lead Kahuna. You do not need it. It is not a requirement. It is not a quote-unquote bonus on this page right now that you have to pay for. Every bonus you see on this page is included. It's all the same for just $297. But it is something that as part of the negotiation to get you such a great deal for Social Covers, that was part of it, is that he said, we got to put Lead Kahuna in so they can take a look at that as well. I said, fair enough. That makes sense. And so there you go.
Awesome. So, Jason, one of our members here is asking for some clarification about the impending changes. So keep it again to 2 minutes or less, but let's talk about those impending changes because we have an opportunity right now.
Yes.
With the COVID situation we talked about. I hope that's really clear. Businesses, this isn't a luxury item for businesses. Businesses need this. This will make a significant impact in their business, right? Yep. If they can convey COVID information that people are looking for, that's going to make people feel safe. This is super important. But there's another impending change that is going to make this like the market is going to 10x the size or 100x the size because everybody, even the good-looking covers, are going to be in trouble.
Yep. Yeah. This is, and nobody knows when it's going to happen other than soon. Facebook is shrouded in secrecy on terms of changes. It is very hard to even know, unless you do this for a living like David does, of any of these changes until they happen because they're that secretive with them. All right. But there is a change coming where Facebook is decluttering the fan pages, especially on mobile. And that's going to change the very nature of how these social covers are displayed. And so only by luck Will any of these local businesses survive the impending Facebook cover Armageddon that's about to occur? Now, you won't have to worry about it because somebody whose job it is to worry about it will have it fixed and ready to rock and roll in social covers when it happens, as fast as you could ever hope to in the market. So we're already geared up and ready for that. So it's kind of like you have two perfect events back to back. You have this one event right now, which has made businesses, let me put it this way. In the past, you go to a business and you try to sell them something. It's like trying to sell them a whiter, brighter, cleaner smile. It'd be nice to have, but it doesn't keep them up at night, right? Now what you're selling is helping them get rid of a pain from a rotten tooth that is abscessed in their mouth. And every second they go without treating that tooth, it causes them worse and worse pain. That's what you're selling to now, is somebody that's in crippling pain who's ready to pay to get out of it, as opposed to somebody who wants some joy or pleasure potentially in the future and maybe is going to invest in that, right? That's the difference. So that's the impending event that's happening currently. Regardless of when or if this will change, I don't know when it'll change or how it'll change. There is another event on the heels of it, like a 1-2 knockout punch, which is the upcoming Facebook design change to their whole social covers. And you're going to be able to cash in on that as well. In fact, you can tell that to clients right now if you wish to. Hey, we're going to get your cover set up today. In the very moment that Facebook changes everything in the future, we're going to have your back on that too. That's part of why you pay me every single month. And they're going to be like, damn, where you been my whole life? And so, yes, that's also a big part of it.
Awesome. The Lead Kahuna software is $299 per year.
$299.
$299.
Bill, I'm surprised we haven't got this question. Well, gee, Jason, if you're having all these people creating covers, aren't I going to have all this competition out there? Have we had that question at all?
Amazingly enough, no.
Good. Thank God, because I'm tired of that question, because I think everybody gets it. There are over 30 million small businesses out there, right? And it's a never-ending line. And by the way, if there was a case of really totally taking over a market, it would have already been taken over by now. How is it that these businesses have bad cover designs? They're near endless, right? So this is so profitable. Now, it's funny because you would think graphic designers would have solved this, right? No. Oh, my innocent, naive child. No, right? Graphic designers will take a week and a half to make their Picasso Mona Lisa version of a cover, which might look pretty and take forever to make, but it will certainly not help the business either. And graphic designers do not understand what businesses really want. And social covers as a software understands what businesses want. And you run the software, and as a result, you automatically help the business get what they want, whether you realize it or not, right? And you will create really awesome covers too, but they also are functional. They are helpful to the business. Because I know that there are certain people that will watch this and say, well, Jason, I'll just use Canva. It's a free platform, and I can make all kinds of beautiful graphics on it. And you're right, you can. Prepare to spend 4 to 6 hours per cover. And then I don't know if you'll have the persuasion customer getting DNA sprinkled into those covers once you design them anyway. Even if you were to try to copy one of these covers, say, I saw the cover, I'm going to put it up on my one screen here, open up a free software editor of a photo editor app over here, and I will mimic it pixel by pixel. 4.5 hours later, you still won't even be done with it. What to speak of the automation? What to speak of everything else that comes along with this, right? And I think most people on this call know that, which is refreshing. Because oftentimes when there's opportunities like this, people get very nervous that everybody's going to take it over, and then there's not going to be anything but crumbs left over for people. So that's absolutely not the case here. I know that we will not put a dent in even 1% of the opportunity that exists out there. But maybe we'll help 1%, and I call that a win.
So it's interesting to see the questions here, Jason. There's such a gamut of questions. So let me ask you this, because I love your answer to this so much. I never tire of listening to it. Talk about 5-cent questions and $10 questions or $100 questions.
Yeah, there are certain questions that can be helpful to your well-being, and there are other questions which are just curious in nature that necessarily don't do anything for you, right? So the 5-cent questions are the questions that whether I answer them or not is not going to make the difference in your life. So you could say, hey, Jason, how many different fonts are supported in the system for these covers? And here's the answer. I have no earthly idea. I know they have Open Sans, and that's my favorite font. So I use that one, right? That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to you, and it doesn't matter to a business. That's a 5-cent question. But a $100 question would be something along these lines of, hey, Jason, I noticed that a lot of the covers in the side of the system use the star rating in a quote. Why is that? And the answer is all these businesses have these really great proof elements in the form of already given testimonials, and they show up nowhere. But that's what customers respond to. So that type of design is designed to help the business get more business. You don't have to know that, by the way. My kids don't know why they got to go to bed at a certain time and why they have to wake up at a certain time, right? They don't realize the power of structure and how health-wise that can help them with their sleep. They don't know that. They just know Dad says I go to bed at this time and I get up at this time. And they do it because they trust me, right? And so the idea here is you don't have to understand the underlying persuasion principles in these designs. You just have to put them in front of businesses, and the rest of the work will be done for you. So the $100 question is, Jason, do these really help businesses get more business? That's a $100 question. And the answer is absolutely yes. And even better, businesses will realize that at a glance. They will say, wow, that smile for my dental photo cover, that's just some close-up of some teeth, that's not going to do anything near as good as a back-to-school special cover image, which anybody could create right now, right? Back-to-school special, back-to-school sale. They have all sorts of specific offer covers, as they call them. Holiday covers. Why aren't more people creating social covers around the holiday? They never thought of it. They're already in the system. You just change a couple things and you're off to the races. So that's a $100 question. So what Will and I want to do, since you have us, and there's only 2 of us, and there's many of you, and we are now in 2 hours and 13 minutes into this whole shebang, right? We really want to spend the time as much as possible on the $100 questions. The questions that if you hear it, it will help give you a decision to make, whether it's to move forward with this or not to, which I'm okay with either decision as long as it's a decision made from an informed perspective.
Right. So we have one individual that is very highly focused on what it doesn't do.
Yes.
And answering that it doesn't do. And that's an interesting perspective, because I'm getting questions. Does it support Wix blogs? And does it support,
Nope.
It doesn't. And
doesn't support anything other than itself, right?
Yeah, it's for social media profiles only. If you don't see enough value in what we've explained in that by itself, then this is not for you. Period.
I want to talk to that real quick, Will. All this other software you see that supports this and it supports that, and it's a Swiss Army knife, and it has 56 buttons on its remote control, and blah, 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 right? This is called the consumer's paradox. So psychologically, as I study these things, because this is my job, right? Consumers think that more choices will make them happier, and the reality is more choices almost always make them more miserable. So if I gave you a software that interacted with Wix and it also did this thing over here with this function and that one, you will get so overwhelmed the minute you look at the software that you'll vomit, you'll throw up, and you'll never come back to it again, right? This is a self-contained software. It doesn't work with any third-party software, i.e., you need nothing else besides this software to make it work, right? It does have a cap. I'm telling you that. I told you that up front. But I would like to draw extra money with very little effort because I'm a money getter. And I want you to be a money getter as well, right? So this thing doesn't do a lot. But what it does wonderfully. It isn't a full-on page builder. So you can't substitute it for ClickFunnels or any other software to build websites with, right? But it builds one type of website better than anybody else. And that's a website to sell social covers, right? the lead management system that does the follow-up on your behalf, it doesn't work for any other type of follow-up. but it works better than any other software in the world when it comes to following up on your behalf to sell social covers.
Yeah. So the software works no matter where you get the leads, by the way. You don't need to have
Yes.
Kahuna. You don't even need to have local businesses. You don't need to call local businesses. You don't need to email local businesses. Those are all strategies you can do, but you don't have to do, right?
Yep. Yep.
The bottom line is you have to have some way to send, whether it's an email address or a messenger or on a WhatsApp or a text message. You got to send somebody a link to go say, look at the covers I created for you. Somehow you got to get to them.
Yep.
Do you have to talk to them? No. You just got to.
You can hire a VA to do it for you, right? If you
hire a virtual assistant to do it. It doesn't matter how you do it. You got to get it.
Tell your nephew to do it for you, and then pay him if he gets anybody, right? Doesn't matter. If I sound frustrated with you, it's because I am, because you're making this harder than it has to be, right? I understand where it comes from. I empathize with you because most stuff is very convoluted and there's a lot of moving parts. But this is pretty simple and it's pretty straight line forward, which is why I'm creating it and training on it here for you today, right? You find a business that has a really crappy cover. You say, hey, listen, I can make you a new cover. I'll give it to you for free if you want me to. They say yes. You open up the software, a couple minutes later, you give them a cover. And then you say, oh, by the way, we created these other covers too. If you want them, just cover my cost. Now, your cost can be whatever you want it to be. If your time is worth $99 a month, I think that's less than covering your costs if you want to be honest with it. But let's just call it covering the cost, right? You say, here's the one. You can use it as you wish, or you can use all of it. Just pay me $99 a month. Because when you pay me, we will update one for you every single month too. We'll update all your covers.
Yeah.
Done.
So I want to clarify again, Jason. People are getting confused with that done for you biz contacting for first 20 businesses.
Yes.
That is not the limit of businesses you can service. You can service unlimited business. The done for you, meaning they will do the research for you on the business, that is a bonus.
Yes.
That they will do it for 20 businesses on your behalf. That's it.
Yeah.
But you can do as many businesses as you want. It's completely unlimited.
Correct. So you on your own, however you wish to get in front of any business and put this in front of them, I bless you. Please do that, right? But independent of that, there are 20 businesses that you can hand over to somebody and they will contact on your behalf within the company that created social covers. They will do that for you and brand it to you and let you keep 100% of the profits on it. We all want you to be very successful. And I understand that you're guarded because a lot of people that sell you things don't want you to be necessarily successful. They want you to pay them money, and that's about the end of the equation in their minds, right? We want you to pay us money. Let's be very clear here, and you should pay us money. But we also are having a vested interest in your success. And that's why you're getting these bonuses on top of having the software do what it does for you. Hopefully that makes sense to you. If not, we'll try it again, right?
You can use PayPal for recurring billing. You can use a credit card processor. You can use bank accounts. You can use whatever you want. It's up to you to collect payment.
Yep. Yeah, Rick, for example, he uses ACH, Automatic Clearinghouse, which is one of my favorite ways. The business each month, they pull it out of their bank account, and then the bank sends it over to your account, right? A little bit more complicated to set that up. So don't start there, right? I mean, depending on who you're working with, like, do they use Venmo? Do they use Cash App? If you don't know what those are, don't use those. But if you know what those are, they're like the equivalent of scanning a freaking QR code and the payment is already created, right? PayPal, if you have PayPal, great. If you're from a country that doesn't support PayPal, then how do you take money normally? Take it that way, right? If you can get Stripe up and take it with credit card, take it with a credit card. A check works really well. Good old-fashioned cash can also work really well too. If you take cash, charge them the whole year up front. Just charge them $1,000 and give them a discount for a year, right?
Yep. Cash.
Walk out with $1,000 cash in your pocket.
Cash is always good.
I like cash. There's a lot of benefits to cash.
Yeah. So, Jay asked,
if you can't take money, you're not going to make it in this business or any business, all right? So let's just Just I want to put that out there.
That's a great point. If you're concerned about how you're going to take it and you can't figure that out, how are you going to make it in any business?
Yeah.
Do you think you could open up a store and say, oh my gosh, I've opened up the store, but I don't know how to take money. I don't know how to get paid. I don't know if I should take checks or if I should take credit cards or if I should take cash or if I should take PayPal or if I should take Apple Pay or if I should that should not be a concern.
It's okay, by the way, to not know the answer today. Let's just be clear on that. A lot of stuff, when you sign up for this, you will not know the answer to. But it will sort itself out when you go out there and start moving forward with it. A lot of this stuff is unknown, and I understand that it can be scary, but it will become known as a byproduct of you just following the simple instruction inside of social covers. Okay? So that's a 5-cent question. How are you going to take the money? The answer is however you want to, or however easy it is for the business to give it to you. The business wants to write me a check, I'll take a check. The business wants to pay me with a system I've never heard before, I'll figure out how to say yes to that and get paid.
That's right. That's right. Don't be that person that receives $1 million check and complain that you have to go cash. You have to take it to the bank. I know it's painful to go to the bank, but come on now. Come on.
Remember that one? I had a $180,000 check that I didn't cash for 4 weeks because I couldn't get to the bank, right?
Well, yeah, banks were closed, right? Or not closed.
I just didn't want to go to the damn bank. But there was a point in my life where a $180 check I had to cash the moment I got it. Because that was the situation that I was in, right? So you can figure out how to make it work however you want to make it work. What most people will never have, there's 1 million people that have a way of taking money, but nobody who wants to give them any money. So they are so far worse off than you are. Because if you don't know how to take money, but you have social covers, which unlocks the ability for people to want to pay you money, then the rest is just simple figuring out how you want to receive that money.
Yeah, so there is support. They have a great support team. They're available 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, Eastern Standard Time. And you can access support right from inside the members area. There's a red button on the right side of the screen. You click on that, a help window pops up. It has all the training videos. All the strategies, Brian, are explicitly spelled out. If you click on that little red tab on the right side, you can go through their master classes, get the scripts. All of that information is right there. So when you log in, the first thing you should do is click on that little red tab that says help, and go through the information in there. So any questions that you have, they have great support. They're super, super responsive, and they're there to help you because they want you to be successful, right? If you're successful, they're going to try and sell you more stuff in the future, like Jason said. This is called the loss leader, right? You put something in there, you don't really make any money, but you get the customer, right? And once you have the customer, if they do right by you, and you make money with this, which is what they want you to do, then when they put something else in front of you that will also help you make money, why would you ever say no? Yep. Right? Every one of you should say yes. So, yep. All right. So we're answering those questions. As far as gathering testimonials for this covers, Jay, you can go to their website and find where they posted testimonials. You can go to their current social media profiles that may have testimonials. You may ask the business about testimonials. So the software doesn't go hunt down for testimonials by itself, but you can go find whatever, and the templates have ways for you to put the testimonials and the number of stars and all that right in there.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, my favorite strategy is I go right to the website. And it's fascinating to me how the website almost always has beautiful images, beautiful content, beautiful everything, and none of it shows up on their social media profiles. Almost ever. And all I do is copy and paste, right? 90% of the time, any testimonial I find for a local business is splattered on the first page of their website. But it's not on their social media cover, which gets way more traffic than their website ever will get. So I just move it from the website to into the social covers. I copy and paste it in there, maybe move it around slightly, maybe slightly modify the style of it, and then I save it and it's done. 90% of the time, all the graphics that I get for the covers are right off the website.
Hey, Jason, there's a bonus we actually forgot to mention.
What's that?
every customer who joins Social Covers can schedule a quick start call with them, where
Yes.
somebody will get on a call one-on-one with you and actually walk you through getting started. So if you get in there and you're like, oh, I don't know what to do, no problem. Schedule your call and somebody will walk you through it.
Did not even know that was a bonus.
That is, I'd forgotten about that also. I just got reminded. So that's, so getting one-on-one help right off the bat for $297 investment, that's pretty insane. But
I mean, David's done a really good job with his company and how he's built it out. They focus exclusively on a very small niche market, which is that local consultant who already does this for a living, adding another tool to their toolkit, right? Which is why they've done so well, even though a lot of people aren't aware of they exist. And I saw that and I said, let's bring this to a wider market. And this is one of the reasons I'm excited to bring this out to you, because they have a treasure trove of all these resources because they've spent so long becoming the best at helping that existing person who already works with a local business. It's just a really small market, and now you can tap into those same resources and look at the price for all of that. That's a good deal, isn't it?
It's an incredible deal. So, Jason, we're 2 hours. It's 2:27 p.m. Pacific time. We are almost 2.5 hours into this webinar. I believe we've answered all the $100 questions.
Cool. Yeah, and if one comes up, certainly you have some time to present it. You can write into us at support@rapidcrush.com in terms of helping clarification on whether you should invest in this or not. We'll be eager to see if we can help you make that decision. And I think really what you need to do is this. I do not believe there is any possible way you can be worse off if you sign up today. How's that for a close, Will, right? Let me say that again because it's so comical for me. I do not believe there's any possible way you could be worse off as a result of signing up for Social Covers today. I don't know exactly how much you'll gain. I don't know if you'll get 100 customers or 10 customers or just 5 customers, whatever the case may be. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I just know that you have a tool that is so effective that you should do whatever you can to get your hands on that tool, because in and of itself, it can be valuable. It can be combined with whatever you already may also have. It can be a springboard for you to start doing other stuff, right? I mean, because... And this is funny. This is, again, maybe it's just the way my mind works. For the Instagram cover, it's just a square cover, right? It's not a cover. It's just an Instagram post. You could be somebody's social media manager, and you can just design images that are square images, and you could post them on all their social media profiles. And you could do that over and over and over again, especially if you get the upsell on the covers. You have 60 covers. And then again, you can design your own templates, right? The world is web, or the world web is images, is what I should say. The number one thing somebody does on Facebook, not a like, it's a posting of an image, not a status update. It's a posting of an image. Image content on social media gets 40 times the engagement of any other type of content. And so you have an image creator that's made to create images for social media. Now, it's made specifically and explicitly for covers. But man, what else could you use this for? How else could you use this? I don't think there's a single one of you who could sign up for this and not get immense value beyond your $297 investment, no matter who you are, where you are, or what you plan to do with this. And then when you add in all the other stuff that's involved in this and how it's self-contained, I understand you've probably never seen anything like this before. I mean, who builds a web site designer specifically just for the one thing of building social covers for clients? Who does that? Build a whole system for a website that you can design so it can exclusively be used only in this one situation. That's awesome, isn't it? And then what about the automation component? And what about the follow-up component? Those aren't other systems that are kind of Frankenstein and duct taped together. They are literally homegrown, built from the scratch up, just to make the one thing that this software does even better, which is design social covers for businesses. And so,
Jason,
yeah, I get why that's kind of weird, because you're like, well, what about all this other stuff and this and that and that? It is not needed. And this is why I believe this is the single greatest thing you could do today when you factor in the timing and what this is and what the offer is and what the opportunity is to make money right away.
We built
Not
our
to make a
business
career out of it.
We built an 8-figure business selling single purpose software.
Yep.
While everyone else in the market was competing on features, we were removing features. Yes. And this is what, and I kid you not, and selling for 10 times the price, 5 times the price, right?
And having happier customers.
And having happier customers, more successful customers. There were times where we saw great benefit in a particular piece of software that we didn't even develop. We acquired the rights for software selling for $17. And what we did was remove features and then enhance one single feature and sell that software for $97 because it became the best software for that one thing. And it only did one thing.
Yep.
And so we've been fans of this model for a long time because it helps the customer better. And it allows you to create a best of breed rather than this one thing that does a million things when does none of them well. And there's a time and place for things that are like that don't do anything well but do a lot of things. But for this type of solution, it's not the place.
Right.
This software was created to do social covers. Done. Period. End of story. It won't do your blog images. It won't do your Pinterest this or that. It won't do your...
It won't interact with WordPress and any of that fancy stuff, right?
It won't do any of that, right? And there's a significant benefit to that. You mentioned, what you said a minute ago, Jason, is so powerful. It is weird. This is a weird opportunity. And I fear that because it is so weird, a lot of people are going to miss out on this because they're just not going to see that the simplicity is the power.
Yep.
The simplicity is the power. The uniqueness is the power. And I fear that in this current situation that we live in, where a lot of people are really in dire need of additional income, are going to pass on this opportunity because they did not understand the value of the simplicity of the opportunity. Because everybody thinks that they have to, not everybody, most people think that they have to have a complex, fancy, convoluted solution to offer a service or offer a product. And that is just not the case. The simpler it is, the better. I'll tell you what, there are people that make a lot of money by going door to door. Right? They come through our neighborhoods once in a while and say, hey, the number of your house number on the sidewalk is faded. I can paint it for $20. And they take out a stencil, a spray can, spray it out. It takes them like 60 to 90 seconds to do it. And they make $20. There's nothing impressive. There's nothing complicated. There's nothing convoluted. All they have to show me is that, hey, my numbers are faded, or somebody hit it with a tire and it looks blacked out, or something like that. Super simple. They make a ton of money.
Yep.
Right? They make $100 plus an hour doing that. Right? There's simplicity in the social covers scenario or opportunity that we're presenting to you. The reason we're presenting this to you, and this is not the type of offer that we normally present to you. We normally present to you, if you've been our customer or on our list for a while, we present offers for you to build scalable businesses that can, do massive profits and massive potential. This is a way, and those businesses are great, and we believe in them. But here's an opportunity where you literally don't have a ramp-up period. I mean, your ramp-up period is going to be 1 to 2 days if you get in the software to get used to it. You don't even have to learn it. You just got to get used to it, because if you get used to it, you get faster at it. And you will have fun doing it, because the customers that have seen it, that are our customers that have been trying this out, they came back and said, wow, this is fun. I'm addicted to making social covers, which is kind of weird too. But hey, it's all cool.
It's cool.
But the point is, you can literally be selling this tomorrow. You can be selling to local businesses tomorrow.
Yep.
Tomorrow's Friday. It's a good day to sell. Every day is a good day to sell. But you can be doing this tomorrow, right? And there's no ramp up period. There's no complication. There's no long setup. There's no long learning curve. This is totally unique. So I just hope, Jason, I just hope, and I think we did, I think you did, do a good job in explaining the potential so individuals here can understand that this is an unprecedented for us ability to generate quick cash in an ethical way that provides value. We're not talking quick cash in a scammy way, because that's a lot of opportunity like that, right? We don't like those. We don't want you to participate.
And they never work either.
They can work short term, but they never work long term. This is something that you can build a nice little side business around, right? Even if it's not exciting. You mentioned this earlier too. Even if you may not love this concept, you may not love this idea, but I hope you see the opportunity to make cash. I bet you don't love going to work either. Most of you don't love the day job if you have one, right? But you still do it, right? So maybe you won't love doing social covers. Maybe you will, I don't know. But it is an absolute incredible opportunity for you to make significant amounts of income, for most of you very significant, for most people in this country, in the US, for most people in the world, significant amounts of income with a very, very low barrier of entry, which is $297 for you to get started. And you don't even have to take any of the upsells, because you can make this work. The upsells will make it a little better, but hey, you don't need the Cadillac. You don't need the fancy Ferrari. Get started with the
Hyundai,
the Honda Civic or the Hyundai, right?
Right.
Get started. That's the important part, right? So you got to do this if you're looking for income. There is no. I don't think, Jason, we've ever pitched an opportunity that says you can make money tomorrow.
Right.
I don't think we've ever done it.
If we did it, I used to do that back in 2008, Will, and it was aimed at a very specific audience who already had a foundational understanding of a very specific concept, right?
Oh yeah, sure. There are times where we can teach something and say, listen, if you implement this in your already skill set, in your already existing business, to your already existing audience, perhaps, then you can make more money tomorrow.
And even then, it's rare that we find those opportunities, right?
Right. But in this case, it's like, it doesn't matter who you are, what you've done, what you sold or not sold, how much experience you have, if you like selling or not, if you're technical or not, it just literally doesn't matter. And this type of situation, we've never promoted because we've never encountered it.
Yeah, and to be clear here, it doesn't really get my pulse going like a long-term, multi-million-dollar sustainable business would, right? But those methods we discover, we don't part with them for $297 because they're far too valuable for that. And they're aimed at people who understand that it's going to take a month or two to get your feet on the ground. It's going to take another month or two to get it rocking and rolling, and then probably another month or two to dial it in. And they're okay with that. And I love those types of opportunities. But I also sometimes have to put aside my own personal preferences when I see 30 million people just in the United States, what to speak of the world, who are in a state of absolute financial uncertainty right now. We all knew that one day something could come along that would totally whack the financial status of most people on the side of its head. We all knew we were one disaster away. But like everybody, we never thought it would happen. And then the black swan flew in, and like it or not, it happened overnight. And if anything, I always sit down and say, what can I help my clients with that can give them the edge that nobody else could give them? That's the number one question always on my mind. And this is it. If you are in a situation, regardless, okay, let's take the two situations. Situation number one, money is tight for you. Well, this is perfect, okay? If you can put aside your pride and just say, all right, I need to fix my money situation. This is the best bet I have. I believe that that's what Social Covers has for you. But here's the other person I think that also this is right for. If you are in tune that when there's massive financial certainty in the market, there's unprecedented opportunity to profit. Okay? Under normal circumstances, I would say you should be a local consultant in order to do this, because you at least would know the lay of the land and maybe some of the lingo, right? Because that's when you're selling businesses on the positive outlook of tomorrow. But right now, businesses have holes in their boat and they're sinking. And you're coming in, filling those holes, and you're bringing in a device that can bail the water out for them. And that's a unique situation where people can make money who otherwise necessarily might not have to make money unless they were to put in a lot more effort. Combine that with the fact that Facebook is about ready to have Cover Armageddon roll out, and I would feel poorly of myself if I didn't bring this opportunity to you, because nobody else is going to. And it's the greatest opportunity I see to make the quickest amount of money and simultaneously help out a lot of people who need help right now. And I mean, honestly, at a personal level, it's very upsetting to me to see the people who are supposed to have the backs of small businesses and be their champions loot and pillage them while they're down. They pick their pockets instead of helping pick them up off their feet, right? And the best way I know to right a wrong is not to complain about it, is to do something about it. And that's my calling. And that's why I'm like, if I can empower you to go out there, have a positive, powerful change, make money, do good, give yourself a sense of focus at least so you can safe-proof yourself from all the negativity that's in the world right now. There's nothing like a singular purpose to focus on that will make a lot of things that are otherwise annoying just disappear. And I want to give that to you as well. Join me. Let's get going, and let's see where it leads.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone, for being here. And if you have questions, write to support@rapidcrush.com. If you go to the bottom of that page, practicalprofits.com, our support link is on the footer of that page as well, in case you don't remember, support@rapidcrush.com. Our team is available to answer any questions that you may have regarding investment in this product. Thank you so much for being here. I hope we did a good job helping you see this opportunity, and I look forward to hearing about all the success stories. I will ask you for one favor before we depart. Once you get your first customer, can you please write to support@rapidcrush.com and let us know, because we love hearing customer success stories, and I know we're going to get a ton of them. So please write to support@rapidcrush.com. Let us know the experience you had in getting that first customer, and then the second and the 10th and the 100th customer. It's just going to be an amazing ride, and I'd love to participate in that with you. Thank you so much from myself and from the rest of the Rapid Crush team. We'll talk to you soon.